And just like that, we are live. What is going on, Internet? And welcome to OnlyCops. We are here with Dad, as I call him. Y'all can know him as Keith. He is the server sheriff and the purveyor of all things county related. He has to take accountability for them. I also will defer to him and his wisdom in county related things. I represent municipal police. I have a decent amount of less experience than Keith does in law enforcement, but collectively, between the two of us, we're almost at 30 plus years?
About 30 plus, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you collect the chat experience collectively, you're probably looking at like a century or more. Anyways, here on our lives, we do interesting, sometimes body cam, sometimes just police related stuff, but we try to demystify the things that you were seeing online about law enforcement so that you are not led astray by the idiots that typically put out content on this. I do want to give a big shout out to our Patreon group as a whole. It's been growing pretty steadily recently, so I want to give a big shout out to y'all. You guys are the ones that make it easier for us to do this. It's still hard. I have a full-time job that I still have to do this, and then the reason why producer Juan and Megan have been out this whole time is because this is like the busiest time of year for their day jobs. And then Bill is still in Area 51 at times, so it's hard to get him in stream. But until then, we're going to carry on strong. Keith has joined me. And I'm going to go ahead and give acknowledgments. We're going to do a pretty decent one here, and I do owe said Patreon group some Phasmophobia this evening, so I'll try to get that done for you guys. Also, thank you to the Vigilante group. It's like a subset of the Patreon group. They're the reasons why we have a bunch of cool, very current, timely videos for us to watch. They organize this because it makes it way easier for me to be able to produce this stuff. We've not missed a stram in a hot minute, and I don't intend to anytime soon. Edgar Allan Popo, what is going on? He is number 1. Lapete is number 2, and John C, not John Cena, because we love America, is number 3. Robert, it is good to see you. Chris, not war crime Chris, but Chris. Phoner, I'm not going to say his name wrong. This stream. The Dan Hammer is indeed in the building. He was the first commenter. Mr. Toastar, Notorious Cody Smalls, it's good to see you. Christy C, one of our vigilantes, thank you for being here. Prodigal Brock, Poseidon's here. FAFO, I have a video for you if you stay long enough. There is a video for you, which is pretty cool. Mama Bear indeed is in the chat. Who am I missing here? Sarah Bella Bobera. You had to go and make her name complicated.
Getting complex trying to track these names.
I know.
I'm too old to track your names.
Ebu, it's good to see you. RJ, Sam, Sam, it is good to see you and your beautiful face. FAFO says stop pew pewing and let's roll. Christian Halsey, thank you for the super chat. And for monetizing what's likely, I got to skim some of these videos, so I think we're getting demonetized today, per the usual. I'm assuming this is Juan that's complaining about my thumbnail. I reuse settings. I don't have producer Juan help this month in general. Christian Halsey, thank you for the second super chat. I said hi to Emu, Poseidon. I said hi. Styx is here. Jordan is here. Eddie is here. Who want to put money? He's going to be on time. I was on time. Thank you. But I was on scheduled time. I was technically at 7:35, but that's when it was posted. Who am I missing here? -5 for Josh being late. This was scheduled for 7:35, so I was not late. Almost kind of quite on time. Tanner, it's good to see you. Mac Daddy, it is also good to see you. Dylan B, Hardy, I think I got everybody. Oh, and the Dannenheimer, and then we have 3 Dans. Dan HRT is here. Welcome, my friend. Dr. Punish as opposed to Dr. Pepper. Squirtle's here. I think I got everybody. Anyways, drop a like. Hopefully I didn't miss you. If you did, go ahead and complain. Everyone's hitting me with next. Little Duck, it is good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. We're going to get on with the content here. Our score from last week, I now have my big intent scoreboard here. Feds were at negative 100. Chat was at plus 10. You're going to stay at plus 10 for now. We're going to keep a running score for y'all. County was at plus 7. Municipals was at negative 5.5. Suspects were at negative 5. Media was at plus 10. Society was at negative 45. Second responders were at plus 10. Admin did not have a score, and State Boys were at plus 13. I am not safe from their theme song today, since Keith is in the chat here with me. Okay, so Feds are going to stay at negative 100. For those of you keeping score at home, negative 100. Chat is going to be at plus 10. I will take points from you. 0 Percival. It's good to see you, homie. Percival. That's a name of something. It's like a Greek god or something like that. I've been watching there's a show based off of Critical Role, and one of their names is Percival.
Was the lead character in Ready Player One.
Oh, that's right. That was them. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Look at Keith.
Or was it Parzival?
Parzival.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Close enough, though.
Something like that.
I know things.
He said negative 100. Chad, I'm taking 5 points for the dad joke. That's plus.
There you go.
State Boys are starting off neutral. County is starting off neutral. Same thing with municipals. I'm going to take, someone said gave me a score for admin. I think I said negative 25. I'll give them that. Negative 25 for admin. Media, society, suspects. I think that's everybody. If I miss somebody, we'll do second responders. Okay, we're gonna get started. Sorry, that takes me forever to do. Responders. I just need to get like a printout of that. I'm eventually gonna graduate to something like that. Rigged. Anyways, let's see. This looks like a trooper just based off the hat. So I'm assuming this is State Boys, but
State Boys, huh?
We will.
I give it down.
For the right, I'm asking more or less out of my curiosity, but you are completely free to leave at this point. That's just a friendly reminder, just a reference to registration plate, but you don't have to do anything with it. I'm not issuing a traffic citation for anything. But more or less when you said the ditch permit, I'm like, I have no idea.
I just called my insurance, gave them the VIN, year, and everything, got it fully covered, like insurance-wise. Like someone could steal it, and I have full coverage on it. I told it.
That's good.
The only thing I'm not covered is like me insurance when it covered like hospital-wise, me on it. I'm like a
looks
car.
like you got body armor.
Yeah, that's. I got I got elbow pads, knee pads, everything on, and then I gave them VIN, year, and everything like that, and then they made like the ditch sticker permit, which you're supposed to have on both sides.
Okay.
And then you're supposed to have them displayed like visibly, and then yeah, that's pretty much all that they really said. I had to have a vehicle that qualified for like an off-road, which it was an off-road vehicle.
So it's not like you're doing wheelies down the center of the road.
Yeah, I'm not doing wheelies. I literally just like.
Man, people do not pay attention anymore.
Yeah.
Very based. Him telling him like, I'm terminated my traffic stop. If you want to bounce, you want to bounce. I just have a question. Mega based. I give him plus 10 for that, and then plus 10 or plus 5. So I'm gonna give plus 15 here to State Boys. I didn't know shit about ditch insurance. I've never heard of that ever.
I don't know that that's a Texas thing, especially considering our people make their own pathways across the up to the feeder roads on our interstates. They'll just be sitting there in traffic and just cut across the grass and go up to the interstate or the feeder road.
Like an FAFO. Shh, stop talking.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything self-incriminating. I guess he was just explaining what this ditch insurance was. That's kind of neat, though. I guess for like a recreational vehicle that you might be taking in weird places where a tow truck's just simply not going to come out and get you. That's pretty neat. The only caveat I have to this is there are oil in any gas powered thing. You're going to have some level of oil or fuel. If this thing got ditched and started to leak, I'd be nervous about your water table there locally. And that's just like from a, respect the land and don't mess with Texas kind of stuff. But outside of that, that's pretty cool. They'll replace it if he gets, I bet it's expensive though. That's got to be expensive.
Ditch insurance.
Ditch insurance. I've never heard of that ever. Millennial, what's going on? Texits? Texits are definitely a thing. I participated in a Texit from time to time. It is illegal in most places, but it's not very often enforced. You know this because there's like tracks leaving the highway periodically.
Right. So hold what you got real quick.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, is that for Lapete saying negative?
It's for like multiple requests, so I'm a good DJ.
Everybody's saying hit it, Keith.
Yeah. So there we go.
They're happy. They're happy you're here. I need like a third monitor just for the Discord. No ditch insurance is so if a guy eats it or totals it, it's stolen. Oh, okay. Interesting. I've never heard of ditch insurance. Everyone said thank you. Phoner, it's not a sex thing, no. Let's see, do I have audio?
Professor, what happened?
We got a phone call that you're trying to steal this vehicle?
No, that bullshit. They lied to you. I discovered this car. I'm discovering this car.
This gentleman right here is telling me.
Yeah, I went inside to get some water. I left my car out here in front of my driveway, and he
You bullshit. You lied. This is not your car no more. I discovered it. You lied.
Sir, you can't discover a car.
What you mean? It's here. It's open. I get inside. I discover the car. It's my car now. What day is today?
Today is Columbus Day.
Okay, and what he do?
He discovered America.
Bullshit, because somebody was already here. How you gonna discover something? And what the first country he discovered?
He discovered Dominican Republic and Haiti first.
No, bullshit, because Pefita told me she was there already, colando café when he got there. So why you lie?
Sir, I need you to get out of the car.
I cannot get. I discovered.
If this is legit audio, this would crack me up. I wouldn't put it past him.
Listen, I'm busy. I have somewhere to go. I discovered this car. I have to leave.
Sir, this is not your vehicle.
It's mine now because I discovered, Mr. Officer, and I'm trying to explain to you.
Sir, I need you to get
Tell
out of the
him I'm
vehicle.
leaving.
Sir,
okay,
this is this gentleman's car.
Yeah, Mr. Officer.
So, from a skit standpoint, though funny, I'm going to take 10 points from suspects for not shutting up because he, though claimed it was discovering, very similar to things like sovereign citizens just saying, no, I'm traveling. That was a verbal admittance to your actions, which he said that he found the car and that it was unlocked and he did enter it with intention of leaving with it. So you don't have criminal trespass. Like, let's say he went in there just to take a nap. Technically, it's criminal trespass, which depending on how it's articulated and how this, I don't think that's ever a felony, is it? Criminal trespass? Might be a state jail. But it's like, shouldn't be prison time typically. Like, you might get a year for that. You'd have to really get the book thrown at you for criminal trespass to get you more than a couple months in the slammer. Vehicle burglary or auto theft, on the other hand, could get you some time in the pen. So he gets -10 because regardless of how it's articulated, you did admit to the offense. For municipals, I'm going to take 5 here. This is definitely a municipal cop. 1, because he's wearing the goofy little top hat. I talk a lot of shit about deputies, but no self-respecting deputy would ever wear that style of patrol cap. Like this this is a very city cop thing. I never wore one, but I was issued one that I did eventually have to return. But yeah, he's going to lose 5 for letting the guy get away. And never thinking like, well, I got a felony in progress. Like, didn't do the ass tell make. Did not want the lecture. Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty easy, an easy thing to do. And as far as the Columbus Day reference, if he wanted to do it the exact same way, you would just have more armed people that agree with you. that this car now belongs to you. That's the difference between it. Saying you want to do something and then being able to back that up with violence is the way of the world, regardless of how we want to do it. Russia said, we want this part of Ukraine. Ukraine said, well, I have armed people that say no. Britain was like, I want to tax you a little bit more. We had enough armed people that were like, no. So that's how these things work. It's not the right thing, but it is how things work. Here it is, just for FAFO. I think this is a fascinating shout out to Sacramento Sheriff. Maybe we'll see how cool this actually is. Generally, I'm less of a fan of Sacramento, but we'll see. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. This is your people, Keith.
Better not fail me.
Right there. Now.
Okay. Relax. Our goal tonight is to target human trafficking across Sacramento County. Our undercover operatives will be going out and contacting sex buyers, making a deal with them for whatever sexual acts. We also have cameras in the sky. Our drone team, led by Deputy Swift, will be relaying the descriptions of the suspects, so that'll be great for us. We also have multiple camera systems set up throughout the county so you can log in and watch the feed.
We got 3 cameras right here. Each camera has 3 pods on it. Each one.
I don't really have that big of a beef of going after Johns, which are the people, is your customers for human trafficking, right? Because if you can make the customer base a little bit more skittish about going and purchasing the illicit product, which is, you know, sex for money. But for me personally, as far as law enforcement objectives, I had a lot more interest of going after like pimps, basically, or people that are facilitating this or organizing it. Though in today's day and age of like stuff like OnlyFans and whatever, there's a lot of what people call self-exploitation, right? Where they're effectively managing themselves, if you want to call it that. But I'm also way more concerned about people that are involuntarily being trafficked, which is a much different, you have to have organized crime for that. That's very rarely happening on the individual level. These types of operations very rarely, because like your prostitutes here are undercover officers, and you're only really gonna get Johns unless someone's trying to recruit them into doing that. It's a weird, I have mixed feelings about this.
One of those we can move.
Keith, my off base.
No, but I don't think we can call them pimps anymore. I think they prefer to be called street managers.
Is that really what it is? It's street managers.
So. Yeah, it's something. Yeah, wow, somebody filed a complaint.
I tell you what.
But no, you're right. I
Keith
mean,
is hip, dog.
You wanna?
He's with it today on references.
You wanna get the source. You wanna get the problem. You know, the problem is the one that's creating, that is snatching people, that is running these people. It's a horrible business. I know when I worked down south, it was a huge thing for us to try to stem as much of that as we could. My first agency, we had a big port in our city. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of stuff coming from overseas, and, yeah, so. But yeah, you want to catch the bad guy, the guy at the top.
Everybody, get your words correct, Josh. Get these street managers, right?
Street managers, yes, sir.
Yeah, for me, like I said, the though there's some level of, like, especially when you talk about young people, and this is really where this gets complicated. You had a lot of people where I was at, because we had a lot of, we had Cowboy Stadium, we had some really big expensive bars that were there, and because it was an event center, you would have concerts and just really high profile events. You saw a lot of like out of state prostitution, so you got like a lot of random, like, you're from Minnesota, weird, and this guy's your uncle, right? And a lot of times they're volunteering, right? Like they're willingly participating in all of this stuff. The problem is like they're 19, you know, how much of this they've been coerced in? There is a thing as far as them being like groomed for this type of behavior. So it's a complicated thing to do. This is maybe where it just, those types of investigations are a lot more complicated and don't give you the feel goods of when you run an operation, you might not catch anybody, or you might not have any victims that are willing to cooperate with you, versus this, I guess they could feel better about it because they get some arrests out of it. Robert, welcome to being a member here on the OnlyCops group. Got 85 people and only 15 likes. Yeah, what Robert said.
What?
Drop some likes.
Yeah, drop some likes, man.
Any direction that we want, we can zoom in.
I used to hate these kind of like condo, or not really condos, but like motels.
Go. Hey, put your hands behind your back, dude. Oh. Hey, it's gonna come.
Oh, that was clever. Clever. Also want to point out, again, the push, not the tackle. It's a good way to not break an arm.
Just knock him off balance.
Super effective.
Let gravity work for you.
Shove. Now, the football coaches in the world will get mad at me for saying that, because that is not how you effectively tackle somebody. But you're also not wearing pads, and there's very few football people tackling people on the pavement. They're doing it in grass or artificial turf. Pavement is just not a friendly thing to fall on.
Get on the ground. Step out of the vehicle for me. Any weapons or anything on you? Anything that's gonna stick me, poke me? Okay. Come over here.
Transport on its way.
So now I wonder if they actually caught a prostitute there, or if that's just like a very deep undercover person. That would be my wonder. Obviously, for the sake of the operation, we'll never know. You shouldn't know, but
yeah,
those arrests to me have got to feel silly. Like, it's again like I didn't care so much about catching the meth user, because that was oftentimes a self-correcting problem. It's so bad for them in their lives that either they get over it and go to a rehab center and don't recidivate, or they just die. Unfortunately, that's the sad thing about hard drugs. But with prostitution, I don't see that curve happening. Though it's an important thing.
Are you gonna go to my room? Oh, they know it's new. Okay, we'll keep it quiet then.
Okay, we're gonna meet you there.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. Relax. Hey.
Hello.
Hi, are you here?
Well, I can't find the address.
I was at the door waiting for you.
Wait.
I think you're right across the street from me. I'll go out to my front door and I'll look for you.
Go.
I tell you what, their location selection was top tier. That fits the bill. Like, way too well. Oh, they just wanted to. Why on earth does it need a little?
Now.
Well, but also, like, drones don't need little baby helipads. That's so stupid. like, look at what's the point? I guess maybe so. A lot of times these they're programmed that if they lose signal, they like backtrack and go back to where they came from, and maybe that's so
maybe
that
that's
they
like a homing thing.
Yeah, like to remember where to go. But
Yeah.
most of the time, these guys would just launch them from the top of their cars because that was like the cleanest, flattest surface they could get, or they just find a flat piece of grass and go. But
I wonder what would happen if you buttered the bottom of their little landing skids.
yeah, exactly. Just kind of get a little.
No, so my parents used to tell me that if you took a dog out and you didn't want it to come home, you took it out in the country and you buttered the bottom of its feet, and it wouldn't make it back to the house. So yeah, there's my parents. That's my folks, people.
Step bro, I miss you, my brother. He said, here's some allowance. And then Robert is defending the honor of these ladies. So wait, undercover officers aren't supposed to show up on video, and everywhere a suspect could possibly see an ID a UC, but not how the rookie shows up. Yeah, you don't ever... If you ever ran into a UC and you were doing some sort of enforcement action, or like a confidential informant, like a CI, they would be treated just like anybody else. They'd probably also get processed in the jail, and there's like a whole thing. I've seen guys go as far as getting arraigned. Like, it's wild.
Units A211 at 675 Main. Backup needed.
Dad, is that why my feet got buttered?
That's right. We buttered Sarah's feet and kicked her out of the house over the weekend.
That's so funny.
I don't have cups.
Oh.
We could have advocates that you can speak to if you wanted to.
So they are actually catching prostitutes as well. So I wonder, on the catching the prostitute side of things, do they try to be Johns? Like, do they try to pay for it? And if they accept the payment for the act, do they go and arrest them on it? Or are they just finding them in the act? That's kind of my beef with this. Like, it's a weird, I don't know, it's just a weird set of circumstances.
No. Hey.
Bro, nobody could have gotten no girl, like, a sweater or something? Like, they just have her hanging out and fish. That's so shitty. Push.
There you go.
Push. There you go. You'd have to stretch for this, dog. Sprinting like that all night.
They need to like hang nets over the top of that little area.
Just kind of drop it like a
drop a net. Yeah.
I'll plus 10 it. I mean, at least they're putting resources into actual crime as opposed to like meter mating it.
Yeah.
I do think specifically human trafficking is a lot more of a complicated situation, mostly because the product, air quotes, is people, right? And so, like, you got to think about how these people got into that set of circumstances and, like, what resources are you offering for them to get out of that cycle of self-exploitation. Because oftentimes, especially because you'll get, like, minors, they'll be 18, I call them minors, but they're like 18, 19 years old, or they don't really have much of an infrastructure. There's no college, no job experience. Their family situation's really complicated. And so, like, trying to find, I have to get them and convince them that they don't need to be doing that, right? Which is complicated. And then I don't really want to be slamming them with charges, because that's only going to make it more complicated for them to dig out. It's going to be very hard to get a job when on your background check there's a felony charge for prostitution. Like, you're not going to pass very many background checks that way. There's times, too, where you can't even get an apartment in a lot of places, or there's leasing companies or even mortgage companies that won't mess with you if you have something like that in your background. It's wild.
So I wonder, like, in Vegas, or I'm sorry, not Vegas, but Nevada, where they've, like, legalized street entrepreneurs, if they, like, take, like, Cash App or Venmo, I mean,
yeah,
like, do you leave a review?
So, yeah, because I know there, like, you have to have, like, a permit to do it. Typically, they're not doing it by themselves. There's, like, an establishment that applies for a permit, and then they have to maintain standards for the, like, prostitutees, I guess, if you want to call them that. But they have to maintain, like, medical standards, do medical examinations within a certain frequency. There's, like, a policy that they have to maintain. Kind of very similar, you think about it. Military service is self-exploitation, right? In the same way that law enforcement experiences. I'm allowing the state to use both my physical and mental health, right, for their objective. And so there's certain criteria. They have to provide medical insurance. They have to provide certain resources for us. That standard is going to be controlled by somebody like TCOL or somebody like whatever. They basically developed a state board, if you want to call it that, for those counties that are going to allow for prostitution to happen. They have like a whole system. It's kind of complicated. I'd be curious to see in places like Amsterdam, where it's like a little bit more prevalent in certain areas, and it's been that way for a little bit longer. and like standardized for longer what their process looks like, because there's a lot of checks and balances there. It's I just read some of the chat. Did you see the body cam getting round base zombie mode? Oh wow. I would like to do wink wink nudge nudge throw a dog some butter. That'd be interesting. A zombie mode with something that realistic would be kind of cool. Robert's still complaining about the like to people ratio. And I do say minors, ER, because I'm from Texas. I guess it's minors. I guess if you had to say it the way it's spelled. But I say minors. I say a lot of things that are weird because I'm from Texas and I hear it that way all the time. Hands out iPad. I'm just going to ask you a quick question. Oh my God. Y'all are out of pocket. Anyways, current running score. Feds at -100. Chad is still only at +5. State boys are at +15. County is at +10. And municipals are already at -5. We're not doing great today. This is Moore County.
Moore County, yeah. Pierce County. I think that's Oregon or Washington.
With the mountain,
I think it's Washington.
You're in the right area of the country.
20 County, I'm clear. You can show me in service, and I'm able to back on calls today.
What?
Guess because he's camera boy today.
I guess,
he's
but
actually be able to take calls or back on calls.
That's weird. You would, unless you were like a 100 unit, which was like basically chiefs that decide to go in service for some odd reason, which very rarely happened. Dispatch decides who's I mean, you can have a conversation on scene about being primary or not. And typically that was like, if somebody was kind of backlogged with a bunch of calls that they had to hold, or like reports they had to hold or whatever, because we're busy. But like keying up and being like, oh yeah, I'm good to back on calls. Like, like maybe a supervisor might call dispatch and say, hey, this guy's working an overtime shift to cover for manpower. I'll make sure that this guy's only a back. But like, that's not something that would be aired out over the radio typically.
Right.
Definitely not at the municipal level. Maybe it's different if it's like a really small county or a really small police department, but that's kind of like a etiquette faux pas more than anything. That's weird.
Hey, so today we're going to do another Friday ride. You're on with me. We also got a special guest today, Steven from the prosecutor's office. You'll see him on the camera a little bit.
That's why he's backing on calls.
There we go.
No cage back here, and someone from the prosecutor, some weird dweeb from the prosecutor's office.
Yep.
He wanted to come out and see what the deputies do so he can know how to help him when he's in court.
Prosecute them. Like, do your job?
Should make him do all the cuffing.
No kidding, right? I would ask every single person, how many charges you got? like let's look at their rap sheet. Like,
yeah.
felony. You're like, dog, this guy's seen a total of like 2 months of jail time in 10 years. And he's got like 18 felonies on his record.
Yeah.
And not like fraud, like robbery, burglary, aggravated assault. Like, you would pled it down to, offensive and provocative contact with a car and a gun. Okay, cool. Other thing, so we had dispatchers that would do this. It became policy for a while that they had to do it once a year.
Yeah.
That they actually had to take a shift in a patrol car.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of who else did this. My chaplain actually did this at my old police department. Shout out to that guy. He took a whole shift with me, and I was on midnights. I was like, this is a day shift kind of guy, and that old timer got out with me, and that was pretty cool. I also had a couple of like advocacy workers that worked in like nonprofit that dealt with like homelessness or with people that were victims of domestic violence, and they were trying to stay just out of sometimes curiosity. They were just like, what does this look like on y'all's end? And it's like, oh, this makes sense why you're always arresting people. And it's like, yeah, well, this is, what other choice do I have?
So let's go.
Our county judge used to, all the county commissioners were required to go at least things like within the first 3 months of if they were new, and then the rest of them just went out annually. They would come out once and just ride around with us and see what it was like, you know. So when we went to them and said we need more money, they would be like, "Yeah, you guys need more money."
You'd sit there and be like, "Yeah, dog."
Yeah.
I wish they would go on like New Year's. Or you know what I mean? Like,
prime. Yes.
Just this is what you leave us with all the time. Or when the Cowboys lose.
Yeah.
I'm with him that it would be hilarious to let him work like a domestic, or like somebody with the ideations. It's a good time.
This is the first like good rainy day we have here in the Pacific Northwest. But this morning there was a double rainbow, so I'm gonna take that as a win. We start the rainy season with a double rainbow. And Tupac.
There he is. We found him.
All right, we are in Graham, and we're going to a motor vehicle theft call. The deputy's already out there to take a report.
So where are you going?
The neighbor and another neighbor both had their cars either stolen or attempted to be stolen by a group of kids in another Hyundai vehicle. So that vehicle they're probably in was stolen too, but let's go see what's going on. We're here at our stolen vehicle report. What'd you have?
Bro, weight-bearing vest, goated. I'm okay with this. He's got a lot going on here. I'm a knife on the pants kind of person, only because I don't like somebody looking at my vest and being like, oh, knife, you know? Also, this is brave for the clicker. It's kind of smart, like, to a certain degree, because at least, like, you don't have to worry about messing with it, but it's just brave.
Is it?
Also, like, if that gets pulled on, like, if this is the ballistic part of your vest, which it likely is, this thing just gets pulled on and is now open. I have a couple complaints, but I'm just excited that they have these. Also, the Apple Watch is a sin.
Have here?
We get a lot of these where teenagers or young adults roll around neighborhoods looking for Kias and Hyundais. They'll try door handles until they find something unlocked, something that they can grab something out of, or try to get started up to take for a joyride. So fortunately they weren't successful here today in getting this Hyundai started.
Shout out to the earpiece, though. I do respect that. I wore an earpiece my entire police career. If I had to go
some
back,
other neighbors reported similar incidences from last night, between like 4 and 5 in the morning, trying door handles and things like that.
I said for years that
possibly related to some other thefts we've had in the area. So
we're all sinners,
you know.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and just a quick note for you guys: around the corner there was a stolen vehicle, and that vehicle ended up parked in front of Bethel High School in the front doors there. So
nice.
We're on to this. We're gonna let graveyard deputies know so they can come around the area and try to look for the vehicle that these crooks are riding around in, stealing other people's cars.
As a graveyard police officer, I used to get pissed off when I heard stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I left stuff for day shift periodically, like cleaning our cars because we couldn't do that, right? Like getting them washed, right? Maybe like a theft report that there was nothing much we could do. Like it was really late in the shift. Somebody just woke up and I was like, I ain't going to that. That's you're gonna have to document a bunch of stuff. Day shift's like about to log on. They can take that call. It is important that you notify other shifts that there's crime going on, but that does tell you a big difference between day shift, which I will say this, day shift's going to deal with way more accidents. Likely you're going to have a lot of like CT warnings because you got like businesses that are having issues or whatever it is. There's a lot more traffic, so driving around anywhere is kind of a pain in the butt. Midnight's officers typically dealing with break-ins, burglaries that are happening in progress, as opposed to people coming home and realizing porch piracy or something like that happened. Domestics, because everyone has their long day at work and then comes home. And then like violent crime that typically is associated with vice, and that's drug dealing and prostitution and all that stuff. But
just when you thought we were done, we have another stolen vehicle report.
Nice.
Right around the corner. So I'm betting that this is going to be the same suspects. Couldn't take our first person's car, so they took this person's car instead.
Yeah, city prosecutor or county prosecutor. Maybe if we eventually catch this guys, you don't let them off with probation.
Yeah.
Robert, he's keeping
right,
chat
man, we're gonna take
honest
off.
here, my dog.
We'll stay out of your business for now.
That was the old timer. What the fuck are you doing here with the camera? I do not consent to being videotaped.
I'd love to stick around and see the end of that story. If the person's not home, he's going to call him on the phone, see if we can meet up and take a report. We're going to go to the next thing.
$200 bond. There were like 18 stolen cars. Yeah.
We're in Graham going to the Dollar Tree for an unwanted person.
That's a good call. That's actually a good call to go to.
The business wants somebody removed from the property.
Dude, every time I had a writer, I would try to find calls like this. I'd be like, oh, you're an explorer and want to see what policing is like? This is 90% of your... Well, not 90%. It's maybe not that much. But it's a big chunk of your job if you're in like a busy area.
Property. So we got to the Dollar Tree here. There was two individuals that were sitting side of the building. Business wanted to move along. Matt asked them to leave. They said okay. Offered them a bottle of water. They didn't want to take it, but they're on their way, and so are we. Is this your stuff? Okay, let's go.
I don't belong here.
Okay, leave.
Stop having smoke. I need to take a rest.
But this isn't your stuff. Then leave.
I didn't say it was my stuff. I needed to have a smoke, and I need to chill for a minute, and I'm gonna go again. I'm walking all day. I'm tired.
Just chill away from their stuff.
Are they in there?
They just walked away, but I don't want you messing with their stuff. What were these?
I do respect that. Because it's like, dog, like, I get it. Y'all are just a bunch of homeless people doing homeless people stuff, but, like, I don't want to deal with the fist fight that's going to come out of this guy showing up like, what the hell are you doing with my stuff? That's actually not a terrible idea. He doesn't have a ton of authority on the Ask Tell Make because it is abandoned property. At least in Texas, like if unless it's like a car that's registered to me or whatever, if I take my flashlight and I put it on the sidewalk and walk away from it, it's considered abandoned. They can take it and I could be like, hey, they stole it. And I was like, no. Finders keepers does actually like mean something in Texas. So you can't just now it's different like if it's on your porch or there's like some reasonable effort at putting it somewhere where it's supposed to be, right? Like you have like what is it? You put like a lock on it, like a bicycle. This is really common. You park a bicycle because you're a bicycle rider. You park it, you put a lock on it. You did some reasonable action to say, hey, I'm kind of marking, even though it's not registered to you or whatever, I would take that report. But like, yeah, you put like, I don't know, your watch down. You took it off, you put it down, you left, and now it's gone. Like, that's not a theft report. I can't charge somebody for theft because they just saw a watch hanging out. There are some officers that would disagree with me on that, but I was a stickler for elements of the offense. We would never sit in your chest. What's the point of this ride along? Robert's not wrong, dog. Christian Halsey, thank you for the super chat. And Robert, yeah, you're not wrong, dog. Unsecured and unattended. See, Frag gets it. My dog.
This guy's doing today.
With the caveat of it, if it's registered to you, it's different. So one of the things, it's a very weird gray area, were cell phones. Because you were paying for a plan for that cell phone. There's a service tendered to that cell phone. And oftentimes that SIM card is in some way, shape, or form registered to you. Did also have like collectibles. You had people that would take out like an insurance policy on like a signed baseball cap or something like that. If there was some decent amount of value to it, Same thing with like iPads. Like they had some way of pinging them. I would take the theft report, but you don't have a ton of authority to go kick in doors to try to like recover property. It's an interesting. There's a gray area for theft like that.
There was some sort of altercation earlier, and they were screaming and yelling at each other.
Okay.
The people who were with them, though, they kind of scattered off into this area, if you can see.
Yeah.
One of them is walking right there right now, so.
Yeah, we saw him.
Something kind of exciting happens, they just kind of run off, so.
We had several people in front of the business here. They were arguing. Didn't get to a physical fight or anything yet, but they walked away when we were rolling up. There's not really a good reason to contact them just to yell at them if they're already leaving.
Agreed.
But there was 2 more people under a tarp here. The sheriff's department.
Kitty!
Oh, you got kittens. This one's trying to get away. Do you want this little kitten back?
This would be me. I'd be like, this one belongs to me now.
Should I move this garbage bag so I can get it to you, or? So I checked on them to make sure they weren't involved in any altercation. They weren't. Had 6 kittens and a mama cat. They just said they got caught in the rain. I told them, you know, it's going to clear up in an hour or 2. If they could leave by then, that would be great. If not, the business owner can call us back, and then we'll be forced to move them along again. Okay.
Peak COVID time, there was a lot of layoffs that happened, and I had guys that would stay under awnings. This was kind of towards the tail end of winter, so it was still kind of cold, but it was really rainy. So people were, whether they were getting evicted or whatever, this is before all the protections came out to protect people from getting evicted. If there was bad weather, I would make people wait. Like I wouldn't issue a CT warning if they were outside under an awning, even if they were loitering somewhere. I was like, if there's foul weather, I'll let them hang out. I'm not going to make them walk in the rain. So I actually respect that. But said that, hey, once it's no longer raining, I will come back, and if the business owner wants you gone, I do and will enforce that. I think that's actually pretty smart. Bro, county's kind of crushing it right now, Keith. I'm a little salty about this.
Yeah. Well, the property owner is understanding of your guys' situation.
Okay, skip.
Move, help us out a lot, because we said, well, we let them have the... Interesting stolen here. It was just dropped off in front of this business.
Yeah, I got flagged down by the property owner here, and they said that when they showed up this morning at 7, that this car was dumped. The ignition's all ripped out, window was busted out.
So now we have the...
So this is real common when people steal cars. One, they can just run out of gas, and they don't want to be seen putting gas in a car and like using their card or using cash or whatever. But this is also... not a heat check. I forgot what like the street term for this was. Well, but basically they were trying to see if there was going to be anyone that's going to try to recover it. And so they'll steal the car, drive it for a little while, or go on a joyride and be done with it. Just park it somewhere because they're idiots. But every once in a while, especially if they were going to try to steal it for parts, they would sit it somewhere to see if there was tracking on it. And if the car got recovered within a couple of days, well, they left it alone. But if it sat there for a while, there's no tracking, there's no interested party, there's no whatever, sometimes they would come and take it after that. So that is, I bet you it's a much more organized than just like 1 or 2 people stealing cars here. I do agree with the animal control call. If they got a bunch of kittens, kittens are now collected as evidence. We did this a lot with dogs. There was a lot of pit bulls that were sold where I worked. And there was actually a city ordinance, and I think it's actually Texas state law. You are not allowed to sell dogs on the side of the road. You have to do it like as part of an organization or some shit. You have to have some sort of permit basically to sell dogs if you're going to do it correctly. And so that we would oftentimes basically be like, you can't be here. And if you're not going to listen, we would call animal control and actually seize the animals. Garnt, thank you for gifting memberships. Welcome Jan W, Josiah Hill, Tony Mornin. Am I saying that right? And then Blake Hardsty. I don't know how to Hardesty. I don't know how you say that last name.
Hardesty, yes.
Brian Park, what's going on? Welcome to OnlyCops if you're here.
this stolen, we're gonna call Federal Way and hopefully get the owner.
Pit bulls, you say? Yes, pit bulls.
I have to tow this one, right?
Yep. Tow it for safekeeping, right?
Too bad the owner.
So a bunch of stolen cars, some homeless people.
All right, we just were on 108th Street South and going back toward Pacific Avenue. Deputies are out on a vehicle with switch plates. We're gonna rush that way and see what we can find.
Big red
flag. So
flag.
it's a switch plate. I have the wrong plate that was on the vehicle. It had Velcro on it to just pull off, and it's expired 2022, so it's not valid. He hasn't registered in his name yet. He didn't know that this was the wrong plate, but he had another plate inside that's totally different. Long story short, he can't drive this vehicle. We're gonna warn him, but he's got to get it off the road, get it registered in his name so he can drive it around again.
It's real common with lifted cars, and by lifted I mean stolen, but also sold in the secondary market. You get people that just don't want to register their cars, so they'll pay somebody for fake plates, and these are kind of expensive. And what they'll do is they'll steal the front. In Texas, it's required that you have a front plate. A lot of times we would look for that, and I would stop them and ask them, did you have a front plate? Because if not, it might have gotten stolen. And it was always like the common cars, so Toyota Camrys, Ford F-150s, Ford Escapes, RAV4s, all of those really common cars. Basically people would just go in a parking lot, steal with a screwdriver, steal a bunch of front plates, and then sell them for people so they wouldn't have paper plates. And they would just say, oh, you have a Toyota Camry? Here's a Toyota Camry plate. It was wild how organized they were at doing this. But anytime we ran into that, we were checking, because also people would steal cars and then just swap the plates. And typically LPRs are only running plates. We're not running VINs. So good luck finding the stolen car unless there's some sort of tracking on it. It's a reason why vehicle registration is hounded on as much as it is. Or when we don't see a plate, or it's a paper plate, or whatever, you'll get a lot of investigative stops after that. That I'm going to go stop the car. I'll find a good reason to stop the car and then ask some questions and look for some documentation. We had regular dispatch, and then we had what we called CIC, which did a lot more of like the administrative deep dives. We ran them ragged with running VIN numbers for stolen cars or guns, that too. Yeah. This is actually a pretty decent look at a patrol. This is what an average shift would look like.
Do you have your license with you? I just want to make sure your license is still good, right?
Do what?
An average day shift.
Oh, that's true, bro. If this was nights,
yeah. Drunk
you're on the third domestic of the night by now.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Mr. Prosecutor.
Dude, I maybe only worked maybe 20% of my police career before 5 o'clock, like PM. I did nights or evenings. C shift was the bulk, which was 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. That was the bulk of my career. Is my favorite shift. Also sleep schedule. The beginning, I'd work a couple of accidents, do some like exchanging of information, and then domestics, fights, PIs, DWIs. It was a mess.
Yes. We pulled over this car because the registration.
I had my whole front plate holder stolen off my truck in Texas. So now my front plate is on my windshield. Cops and SA don't seem to mind. They just want me and other cops might write down the ticket. Yeah, I would typically tell them that's an improper presentation because it is supposed to be on the bumper. But like after about a year of being a cop and then kind of realizing that I worked in the ghetto, and this was just the only way I would have people put them in both windows, front and back window, because it was the only way to keep them from getting stolen. And so I cared less, but I would tell them like it's not visible. Understand? So honest, I would give them. I wouldn't even give them a warning, like a written warning. We didn't have written warnings, but I didn't try to take any level of enforcement action because I kind of understood what was going on. As long as everything was in the up and up. Every once in a while, I'd see that and be like, "Look, you have like 6 license plates in the back of your car. Like, what the fuck?" And then they'd get seized, and then you have to do a seizure report, and then you have to go book it into evidence. The whole pain in the ass.
Is expired.
Keith's generation would have just thrown him in a dumpster. Called it a day.
Ditch.
Dog.
Whatever.
Dog.
Toss it in the trunk.
Y'all had it so much better than we did. Everything, dude. Grinder. If I'm gonna take it for paraphernalia, then I gotta open it, and then I gotta get the little baggie, and then I gotta seal it and sign my name on the evidence tape and do the affidavit. And that's a whole pain. And then
fling that out in the field somewhere,
dude. And then it gets returned because the property room's like, well, I can't read your badge number. You're gonna have to redo it, and then you gotta go at like 9 o'clock in the morning to go do that. That's a bad time. I'm complaining.
Vet stickers on the back, Vietnam vet, U.S. Army. I'm mostly checking to make sure that he's aware that his registration's expired, and I'm gonna make sure that his license is good, and we're gonna cut him loose. He's going through some tough times right now.
We all are.
He didn't have to tell me all that stuff. I was gonna give him a warning anyway, but again, it's just, he's retired from the military, going through some tough stuff right now. We're gonna cut him a break and send him on his way.
I did not change my enforcement action behavior for vets or for anybody for that matter. That being said, I didn't really. My citation issuing percentage was very low. He was a sergeant, likely a media sergeant. Maybe he was a regular sergeant. They just brought a camera crew. I'll give him 10. He didn't do anything groundbreaking, but I do think it was an honest look at it.
Yeah.
And I did like seeing that these were calls that in big cities go holding for a while. You go to Dallas and tell them your car got stolen. They're like, so it's gone, right? Like, yeah, okay, we'll see you in 3 days.
Yeah.
It's how bad it is in big cities right now. So, like, it's good to see that, like, the county's going through and actually working because they're such a pain in the ass. You'll have, like, 15 stolen cars, all likely, like, associated to one another. And you have to take separate reports for every single one. And every single one takes, like, 40 minutes to an hour just in processing. And that's if you don't dust for prints and all that other BS. Like, it's a whole pain in the ass. Filling out, like, fingerprint cards. You're sitting there and getting your tape and dusting and lifting and putting it on there and then, like, drawing where on the car you took it. Do you have to do those, Keith? Or do they have, like, a sheet for y'all?
We had, my first agent hadn't had a sheet. I mean, yeah.
We had like a card, and the card would have like report number, like a general description of what it is, name, badge number of who took it, and then they had
for the prints.
For the prints, yeah. So you'd lift the prints, you'd take that tape, you'd put it on the back of this card, and then sometimes you'd have to take like 3 cards, especially if it was like a big old window and I had like a big old handprint. I'd take like 2 or 3 pieces of tape together 2 or 3 cards, write like it's all the same thing. But you would have to hand draw, which I could barely write, not to mention draw, like where generally I picked up the print, and then take pictures of where I took it if I was going to do fingerprint. It was a whole. I did it a couple times. I actually caught 2 people on prints.
Nice.
There was a kid. What he would do is he'd use a BB gun to shoot out these little plate glass windows so that he could push the locks out for windows so that he could get windows open. And finally he messed up and both of his hands, it was like a dusty window, both of his hands pushed down and he used it to push the window up as opposed to just grabbing the lip, and got him. Big old beautiful handprint that we got him on it, but yeah.
Nice.
Haven't gotten the stream taken down. Not yet. Yeah, no, not yet. Shadow Reaper, what's going on? When Police Dog took a nap, he was clearly positively exhausted from shift. I'll give chat some points for that. That's a good one. I like that. If Bill was here, he'd be happy. I'm going to give chat +5. Current standing. Feds at -100. Chat's at +10. State boys are at +15. Counties at +20. Municipals are at -5. Admins at -25. Societies at +5. And suspects are at -10. That's our score so far. Y'all need to chill. Police is my people. Oh, it's one of these recruiting videos.
Compassion, honor, integrity. If these core values are a part of who you are, the Greensboro Police Department is the perfect place to take your career to the next level.
It's Greensboro, Texas?
South Carolina, I believe.
South Carolina. At least they got short sleeves.
Our officers are part of a talented, dedicated team that works tirelessly to protect and serve all members of our community.
Do what?
It might be Virginia. Hell, I don't know.
With over 30 special teams and squads, you can find your place at GPD. Plus, Greensboro provides a dynamic environment, a chance to make a real difference for our...
Dynamic environment means a dense population of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
That's what that means.
Our citizens and a vibrant, welcoming community. Our officers go through an intense, paid training process with over 1,000 hours of training, including procedural justice training, implicit bias training, and an enormous variety of other courses. Our police academy will prepare you to police in today's world. The Greensboro Police Department is a leader in the ever-challenging and rapidly changing field of law enforcement. As the first North Carolina law enforcement agency to become nationally accredited with...
I was ready to give him plus 10.
Yeah.
I was ready. You like how both of us flinched at that? So, Cleo was conceptually a very good idea, right? And for those that don't understand, so every state has their own like commissioning standards, like board basically, right? So Texas is TCOL. And Cleo was a national movement to try to like transform or make the profession. I don't remember if it was like to make it more professional or whatever it is, but they were trying to transform the profession, and so it was like a national movement to change and have different standards,
standardized,
so that they could get all of the states to generally have the same standard, right? Just like public school, it did a really good job of making sure that everyone would only ever meet the bare minimum. I think and the military guys probably appreciate this a bit more than most, but like they got a bunch of money and they got a bunch of police departments to spend a bunch of money on trying to be CLIA like certified or blessed. And my department was CLIA certified. They sold it. It was a very big deal for them. And the end result, in my opinion, of that was that basically you had a bunch of people taking what nationally seemed important as opposed to what's locally actually important, right? So if I'm working in a small town, very small knit community, customer service is going to be a number one thing. They want a visible police presence that's very involved and goes to the football games and goes to the PTA meetings. That's what they want. It's really what they need, right? Every once in a while, someone's going to rough up their wife. They're going to have to get involved. They're going to still have to do police stuff. But generally speaking, you're going to need a relatively hands-off, high discretion police department, right? In a major city, it's a very different ballgame. You need hyper-specialized units. You need a lot of interdiction stops happening. You're going to be combating organized crime, human trafficking, and even at the county level, right? Like human trafficking or drug trafficking on the border of Texas was very different than what was going on in like Oregon, right? Like it was just a very clear made this push for, and this was mostly police chiefs or the police chiefs like commission or whatever it is. They would go to some meeting and all agree, oh, this sounds great. And then the guys in the line ended up getting all this money spent by their department to get a certification rather than specialized training and equipment and recruiting to help fix their very unique issues. That's the best way I can explain CLIA and why both Keith and I simultaneously like flinched at the Keith. I feel worse for Keith because I didn't know any different. Honestly, doing this show and spending more time around Keith's generation showed me really how bad this was generally for policing. Yeah. He got to be an experienced policing prior to this. I am the manifestation of what CLIA thinks they'll achieve, but I don't conform to a lot of things that I like mock a lot of the things that CLIA would promote. There will never be an EOD team like that. I can't finish reading that one, but Robert, I love you for that. You are right. That is goated with the sauce. That's incredible. Oh, sorry, that caught me off guard.
Scalia, and with the first public housing unit of its kind in the state, we stay agile to meet and exceed the needs of all members of our community. Join the Greensboro Police Department and find a new calling, a new career, and a new family.
If there's a trend I want to see die in law enforcement, it's the family concept around law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'm okay with brotherhood. I'm okay with like oath keepers and things of that nature. I'm fine with that, but like, they're not your family. Your family's your family.
Copy, command. Cross A1 to the Delta side. Oh, Jason.
Municipals. My only gripes, the motors unit in general for me, just like mounted units in general for me, is a big waste of resources. In my personal opinion, I'm very biased. Very, very, very biased. Kind of similar to like SWAT teams that don't answer patrol calls, right? Like if you only have a full-time SWAT, now if you're in an enormous city, you kind of need one, unfortunately. But generally speaking, for most, like I'm talking like 80% of police departments likely shouldn't have a full-time SWAT team. They should have a lot of SWAT certified officers that have equipment and training and are ready to be deployed. And you're more worried about having SWAT coverage as opposed to just having a SWAT team that idles there and just does whatever goon stuff. Bigger departments are a bit different because you're going to be constantly doing raids effectively, or warrant arrests, or like high-risk interdiction. I'm going to say I'm tempted just to not give him anything. I don't know. It's a negative. The Clea thing really rubbed me the wrong way. I probably got too upset about that, but Keith, am I being too harsh? It's a goose egg for me.
Negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a meh.
Hey, man, can you get able to get out of here? Why are you hanging like that, bro? My freaking pack got caught in this stupid seat with this parachute cord. Oh, wow. That's crazy, man. Wait, what are you doing, man? I want to go fight some fire, bro. Can you help me get out of here first? Are you supposed to be on the nozzle? Yeah. Nope. Hang in there, bro. Jason! Copy, command, cross.
I don't know anything about firefighting outside of the fact that they normally don't do the firefighting. But I will commend him for wanting to be involved in the business end. It's like their version of a fire-involved spraying, I guess. Like we have OISs, they have FISs. So we'll say I'll +5 the media. I'll give him that. I do like this guy's content, generally speaking.
Yeah.
All right, Keith, you can play the song.
There we go.
You can play it. I'll let you
There
play
it
yours
is.
first.
There it is. Man, I live for this. Where's my peeps?
What did he say? I want to get this guy on the podcast. What did he say? I just want to meet the guy. What a genius. He has done so much for my life in the past couple
I'll do that rundown for you. Like I said, my uncle was a captain over there. I'll do the rundown. I'll find out who he is.
Oh my god. First 9 minutes of video of the trooper catching up to the wrong way driver.
There you go. There's 9 minutes that we don't have to watch.
Yeah, I was about to say. Also, we're in Michigan, aren't we?
Yeah.
This
pizza delivery signs.
Never understand or appreciate this. Okay, 9 minutes and 6 seconds. It's getting after it now. I don't like this like half code. I do want to hear a siren. Anytime you're going above the speed limit and you're going to turn the lights on, you might as well kick the siren on. The only time I bless maybe not doing this is if you're just simply slowing down traffic or something like that. But whatever. Troopers be like that. I will say this, like sirens are loud. Like it's not a comfortable thing to do. Still not good. My tinnitus is poor. Oh, I guess he just passed city or county, and he's like, all right, I'm here. My hat's on. Let's go.
Coming up on Eureka. Sarge, I'm going to take it out if I get a chance.
Oh, wow.
He's on the wrong side now. I'm on the shoulder. I'm going to take it out if I get a chance.
South and the northbound or east and the westbound, whatever.
I did that.
Yeah.
I put that right then and there. Just be done with it.
Just go.
Yeah, just be done with it. There you go.
Good pit, good pit.
Oh, good. Sources told me the trooper.
Why are you stopping me, officer?
What?
Wait. Hang on. Hang on. Don't.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to read for a second. Stand by, chat. I'm reading. Hold on.
Yes.
So it was dispatched as a wrong-way driver. I do agree that they were not stopping for emergency lights and sirens. That is now evading in a vehicle. The felony in progress, right? Oh, this is his report.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually really like the way he laid out this report. Dang, she blew a 1.7, dude. And blood are the she 1.9 and 1.8. So she's intox, fleeing, going the wrong way. So I caught up to the suspect vehicle once I deemed safe, utilizing due regard. I utilized a pit maneuver to disable the vehicle and save lives of potential vehicles in the crash. Okay. Suspect was detained with that incident. Siren activated. I got behind the suspect who failed to pull over for, monitored traffic. Bro, this is just a pretty decent report, too. Stated, I was coming home from work, admitted to having 2 Miller Lights and 2 shots of Jameson an hour prior to driving. Bro, what? What? Hold on. Okay, we're back to the video. Sorry, guys. You had to... I'm with RJ, Doug. I'm probably taking a lot here from admin. No gun getting pointed here.
Out of the car! You're driving on the wrong side of the road! Out of the car! Oh my god! Oh my god! Hello?
Didn't take her to the ground. Right?
You're under arrest.
No punching. No cussing.
What's going on? You're under arrest. I was just over there. You were just driving the wrong side of the road forever. We had our lights out behind.
No, oh my god.
You got anything on you?
No.
Where are you coming from?
Just over. I was right there.
Okay.
Dog, this was a write-up, Keith.
So, the administrators of the Michigan Highway Patrol can suck my just whatever.
So I'm trying to think of the angle.
This was a righteous stop. Can you imagine the catastrophe if somebody wouldn't juke?
That's what I mean.
Van full of nuns, a van full of church kids, you know, any vehicle.
And it wouldn't
going
be
head on.
so I might understand like I had a policy in place where I could not pit, right? So my report would have read that I intentionally struck the vehicle, which I understand is a policy violation, so that I could ensure that this vehicle would stop going the wrong way in traffic to ensure that we were not endangering the lives of others. I'd take the paper for it, right? Even because it's totally a policy violation, but it's also totally the discretion of administrators to just pull me aside and say, hey, this happened a lot. Like I complain about admin a lot. My sergeants and lieutenants were actually very good. I was pulled aside multiple times where they were like, result was good. You did a good job. I'm proud of you, but there's conversations happening above me about officers doing this type of stuff. I'm not going to write you up. This discussion is me notifying you that you're aware of the policy and you are aware. I didn't sign any paperwork. Nothing went to the folder. Nothing. This happened all the time. All the time. Versus catching paper for this? Duh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he took a 30-day suspension.
Oh, they suspended it? They suspended him?
Yeah. Apparently he took a 30-day. I'm going to look into this a little more.
I'm going to take 200 away. I think that's punitive enough. 225. Dude, I'm going to give State Boys like... I'm going to give him like 30, man. Like that's... He could have gotten smoked doing that. And I get like that's a risky thing for you to do, but it's that, or are you just going to let her keep driving?
Yeah.
Are you just going to like follow her on the wrong side of traffic and just hope she doesn't hit anybody? Like they got the lights on, they got the side, like it, clearly they're trying to make some attempt for her to comply. Bro.
Yeah, I mean there was every step.
That's wild to me.
I'm glad I'm out.
That is wild to me. This type of stuff is a big reason why I'm currently not in law enforcement. I watched a couple of these things happen. I'm only surprised because of how good the outcome was. No injuries. They didn't even point a gun at this lady. Like,
I would have taken paper if I didn't do what he did. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, how long were you going to let that car go?
Dereliction of duty.
Right.
You know,
that's what I'm getting at.
Why didn't you stop the threat? Stop the threat. That's what you do.
And I'll say this. In the reason why we're upset about this and we're having this discussion is the way that and I'll bring up a sore spot for some people, but we'll look at the Uvalde situation, right? Where we're all collectively upset that they didn't intervene. You got the equipment, the guy's in there, go get him because you could potentially save lives. It's easy to say, right, in a chat if you've never been asked to do this in reality, but when it's your job to do it, you are willingly accepting the fact that you might die for that. Like it's very real to you and different to you when the consequences of your actions might lead to your death, right? Like, hey, I have a duty to intervene. Same thing at a domestic. I'm really going to intervene in this domestic. And if this person decides that they're going to have a bad day and they can't go back to jail, I might die for that, right? You sign up for that every single time you put on the monkey suit and go on duty to go work police calls, right? You'd be working on the side of the freeway just trying to help somebody that's stuck. They get smoked for that, right?
Yeah.
For no good reason. Totally happens all the time. I believe intrinsically that society, because it's populated with people, requires people like law enforcement or service members or whatever to step up to the plate and take that responsibility and that risk. That's the only way society's good, is if people, good people, men and women, are willing to step up and risk literally life and limb to ensure that people have some baseline of safety or security of safety, right? Conversely, I cannot ask those exact same people to now walk on eggshells every single time they have to make a decision like this.
Yeah.
That's why we're being very picky and upset about this, is that same trooper goes the policy route and says, well, policy says I can't pit. or I shouldn't pit, or I shouldn't drive the wrong way against traffic, or I shouldn't. And maybe this guy's got a history of violating. I don't know what this guy's specific record is, but this specific act should not result in punishment, is what I'm getting at. Guy could be the worst state trooper Michigan's ever seen. If that was the case, he shouldn't be working there, right? If that was the case. But currently, like, right then and there, he's the good guy. And this is why there's this. And again, things like Clea were the things that brought about change like this. It's what's stopping dynamic entries into homes to save hostages. It's what's stopping a lot of this stuff because they're saying, well, you know, liability and well, whatever. It's like, hey, if you want people that are willing to go be heroes, go let them be heroes, but understand the situation you're putting them in. Don't expect them to go risk life and limb and then beat their ass every single time they're having to make a judgment call. As long as the result is good. When the result's bad, I totally get it. Because you make a conscious decision. Hey, I'm about to make a decision, and I'm going to have to live with the consequences. That's the reality of policing. I don't know. Anyways, that's why we're upsetty spaghetti about it. I'm off my soapbox. Sheriffs. This is your people. Oh.
Tonight, the Oakland County Sheriff stops a cop.
He was driving down the road when he spotted what looked like a squad car, but he instantly noticed it was a fake. Mara McDonald shows us what happened next.
It's likely the lack of exempt plates.
Can you tell which is the legit police vehicle in this video? Because it sure gave the experts pause.
Well, initially it looked to me exactly like a police car. It was a police car. It had a regular police car push bumpers. It had a whole light array on the back. It had police interceptor on the back, dial 9.
I tell you what, the Denali I would have guessed was not a real patrol car. It's a little GMC. I'd be like, what is this? This is not.
911 on the side, stay back, K9 cages in the side rear window.
So you can understand why Bouchard, driving down 59, really raised an eyebrow when he got alongside it. And it had a sketchy decal on the door that said emergency response on it.
And I was like, no, that's not a police car. Something weird's going on.
It got weirder. He ran the plate. It didn't come back to an agency.
Typically when you run city vehicles, they'll come back to the city. So all of my patrol cars would return to city of Arlington, right?
Yeah.
Bro, every time we had security guys that would run like security cars that were very dangerously close to like patrol cars. And the owner of the security company had multiple warrants out for his arrest. So all of the cars were registered to him. It was a good time.
So he activated his lights and pulled it over. The window so tinted it was impossible to see who was driving. The guy behind the wheel rolls down the window.
He looks at me and says, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm the sheriff. Who are you?"
The inside of the phony cop car was also decked out to look legit.
The guy's got what looks intended to look like a computer-aided dispatch computer mounted in the car, a fake radar mounted on the dash. He's got a .45 semi-automatic loaded Glock handgun and a large Bowie knife.
Wow, Mara McDonald.
If you're gonna rock a .45, don't do it in Glock. That's weird.
Reporting the man was taken into custody and is now being held at the Oakland County Jail. Charges are pending.
The sheriff's department is trying to figure out what the phony cop has been up to and if he tried to make any traffic stops or even arrests.
I was gonna say arresting him would be a little weird because he wasn't technically doing police stuff. So I guess that's why charges are pending. The arrest is kind of weird if they didn't catch him doing something specifically in the act. Because I don't think mere possession is enough. Right?
I mean, he was simulating.
But like the caveat has to be you have to, at least in Texas, it could be different everywhere else. I'm with you on if he's running around and he's running cars or he's getting behind cars or doing something.
Yeah.
Very weird. Yeah, absolutely take that guy to jail right away. But unless you're going to have a provision in the law where it states you can't have, 911, you can't have any of that stuff on the car, then technically driving a car that looks like that isn't illegal.
Yeah.
For us, we typically get them with we'd make them activate lights, or we would activate the lights. And the second we saw blue lights, we would sit there and say like, yeah, no. But we'd have something like that, because that mere possession alone was enough. Lights themselves are probably illegal. Custodes gets it. Yeah, a lot would depend on state law. In Texas, it would be very, very gray, the way that it's written. Because impersonating a police officer would require the act, not just having the stuff. A shout out for him for at least running it. I'll give county 5. That's fine. I hate police impersonators.
Yeah.
With a fiery passion. I would take a sovereign citizen over them any day.
Outrageous surprise that was waiting for this police officer when he rang this doorbell. The family's giant King Corso broke through the door's window and booked it out of the house so quickly you'd think the dog had warrants out for him.
I knew that was gonna happen.
But don't worry, the dog was safely brought back to his family. Check out the outrageous surprise.
It's a big dog. It is a big, frightening looking dog.
What upsets me too is there are people that own horses, right? That never have issues. This is an animal capable of breaking down walls if it really wanted to, right? But like dog owners, generally speaking, especially big dog owners like that, terrible. Like the ratio of terrible owners, whether it's Huskies, German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, all that stuff. Is like, dude, I am all for, if I could own a tiger, I would if it wouldn't kill me. But you have to have the means of providing a life that doesn't get them to run awry with the rest of society, right? I think big dogs are awesome. Very, very cool. But like in Arlington specifically, we had a leash law. Like it had to be on a leash unless it was at a dog park or in your house, right? Second you left the house, it had to be on a leash. If it wasn't, ticket immediately. And mostly because we didn't want your dog running into traffic. We didn't want your dog getting into fights with other dogs. We're a constitutional carry state there at the end of my career. So I was like, dog, I don't want you to get your dog getting shot by somebody that just decides to get squirrely. Yeah, I agree, Squirtle. This is why you don't stand square in the door. He's day shift. You got to give him a bit of a pass. He doesn't know any different. I wonder why he showed up, what he was there for. It doesn't say, but that's, is this county? No.
That was waiting for this police officer when he rang.
Yeah, this is PD. Yeah, we'll take 2 for standing in front of the doorway. They're at -7. And society. I'm going to take 10 from society for not providing adequate shelter for your dog.
Yeah.
That's on them. Let's go! Wilderness search and rescue dogs. Okay. That's a happy pooch. Heroes Next Door.
Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for watching. Today we are doing a training day video. We're in Lancaster County and we're with the PA Wilderness Search and Rescue Team. I have Patrick here. He's part of their team. He's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Hi, my name's Patrick. I'm with Pennsylvania Wilderness Search and Rescue. We're Station 96 out of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and we are one of the Southeast regional teams for the Pennsylvania Search and Rescue scenario. And
we're at a campgrounds in eastern Pennsylvania with a large amount of woods connected to it. This is a very realistic scenario where someone would go off with their family just for an afternoon walk and get turned around. So using this kind of area is going to give these dogs a significant challenge. In this scenario, I'm simulating that I've been lost for 24 hours. Very realistic for this team to use that kind of time frame because that's normally when they get called in. It takes them a little bit as volunteers to make their response to wherever area they're going, set up and start the searches. This team today is built up of all volunteers. Everything that you see in the video today, including their trucks, their equipment, their dogs, are all bought by them. They may get donations, so if you're able to help out and donate to the team, they'd appreciate it. But what's really unique about them is all their dogs that they use are certified by a third party. They actually use the International Police Work Dog Association to certify them every 2 years. And if they do not pass those certifications, they will not use those dogs on the next call out.
They are motivated. I respect this a lot, actually, because like even state police probably doesn't have the time, energy, or budget to take time to make a specific division just for searching for people. I will say this, though. A helicopter with a FLIR camera does a lot of this, but it's way more expensive.
Well, a lot of the prisons, like in Texas, I mean, they had, I don't remember which, it may have been more than one, but they had, you know, tracking dogs. And they work them at the prisons.
Yeah.
I think several states do that. So most of like hunter dogs for the state level are going to be at the prisons and trained by convicts and all that fun stuff.
Interesting. Robert says I'm hungry for some cake. Same.
That the guy is carrying. This is very important to any of the search and rescues. You got to make sure that the scent that they were picking up is non-contaminated. So for us, they were able to swab me before I left, but that's not normally the scenario. What's going to happen is they're going to have to go to your home or have some piece of clothing that's not. Michael and I have been out all night. We've tried to find our way out of the woods here and can't seem to locate our trail that we came in on. There is a high tension wire behind me. It's kind of an open space. But we're tired. We didn't sleep much last night. And, you know, Michael's getting a little hungry. I'm sure he's got a diaper that needs to be changed. I tried to use my cell phone. And
I am here for the search and rescue bit of this. I don't know that I'm bringing, like, my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Just in the off chance that the volunteers kind of F it up, right? Like, I don't know about that.
I can't seem to get a signal. I got a little bit of battery left, but we are gonna have to wait for rescue. So hopefully rescue. The handler has her on lead. She gives her the scent bag, and look how quickly she picks up on that scent as they begin their search.
So what are you guys looking for right now?
Looking for any clues, or like they said, can we see a path that somebody's walked down a path? Is there something there? Is there broken limbs? Is there even a footprint? It's pretty muddy today. We may pick up a footprint, any type of clues that we can use. And then we're also watching for the dog to see his behavior. Does he slow down? Does he get more interest? And we'll mark that on our GPS.
Oh, that's kind of clever. So they get like any indicators that there's people, which could be highly contaminated in a public park, but most of this will be very contaminated. And by that, it's like you're going to have people you're not searching for that have been through those areas. And so like foot traffic, a lot of that stuff's going to be... This is really why canvassing makes a bit more sense. But canvassing takes a humongous amount of people. You have to have just like 150 people that are like, all right, we're going to search this grid. And they just kind of start breaking it into grids. But this is probably a bit more quick to put together. And might be more accurate depending on the situation.
I really wanted to put these dogs to their test, so I tried to trick them a little bit. As I was walking into the woods and we were getting lost, I left a kind of a trail to distract them. What I ended up doing is leaving one of Michael's, my grandson's toys, out where we spent the night, and then we moved on. I was wondering, would this dog be able to pick it up and move forward?
Taking the GPS, I'm marking that we found a clue, which is a small toy. I'm marking it on our GPS.
That's so cool.
Download this when we get back so we can know our track. And Dave's going to take a picture of the toy so we can see if it's associated with the lost subject.
So I'm guessing they would need like ATAC or some sort of third-party software to do stuff like that. That's kind of cool that they're doing this stuff. guy proofreads newspapers for grammar mistakes. 1000%. As somebody that has to do newsletters and stuff like that for work, like I get those emails every once in a while. Sir, this deal is no longer live. And I'm like, well, that newsletter is like 2 weeks old, so that's why. It's out of stock. Sorry.
Clues for the child anymore. You might find clues from the adult that's carrying the child.
See, there's a footprint in this mud here.
All right. Gabe, get up there. You pick. Where did you see it, Marty?
Right there, there's a tread. There's 2 treads right here.
Tracking is also good behavior, or good things to try to learn to pick up on, especially when you're looking for people that have fled. You'll see this in an urban environment in the form of like really tall brush every once in a while. I really like it when there's like trash everywhere, because the trash will kind of get disheveled in a certain way if people have been through there. Also maybe less tread areas, but depending on how busy your environment is, some of this isn't applicable.
Tried to catch that plane and run across the field here, or the now my that we're real thick, real thin, but if you watch Dakota very closely, she stops at the exact same places that I stop. Hey. Say loud.
Oh, look at that.
Look at the doggy.
Oh, the dog knows he did good.
Thank you.
Hey guys, what's your name?
My name is Mike.
Mike,
thank you for coming. This is Michael also.
This kid's so over it. He's like, can we go home?
Yeah.
Well, good on them.
Because that's the attitude of medical personnel with them. They're going to bring water and food.
Yeah, for make sure they're not a heat casualty.
For their reward and play. Subject this
And out an air scent dog.
That's a GPS collar, so
Interesting.
When he was out here, he picked up some odor. I'm sure he's picking up some odor down in here. And he came back, when he ran back in amongst all of my flankers, he's checking to make sure that this odor is different than one of these guys. Way we're looking for the lost.
I don't know anything about canines,
Just
so I don't
like
know the
Dakota,
difference
Chase
between an
immediately
air
finds a
scent
toy
dog and a
then
ground
continues
scent dog.
searching.
Somebody in the chat, tell me what this is.
I am flanking right now. So I'm working with
And then National Police Working Dog Association wants to sit
do that.
right.
So whenever we create trainings,
fun for the dog. So we.
Well, shout out to all the... Her hat says wolf. I'm going to say we're going to give plus 15 to society. Look at them for volunteering. They are maybe not first responders, but they are emergency response.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. Good to them. What does it say? 1 sniffs thank you. Edgar Allan Poe, you're the best. Air scent means he can catch the scent in the air. I mean, that's kind of implicit, but I didn't know if it was more complicated than that. Thank you. Kids ready for some dino nuggies. Savory Salmon, it's good to see you, dog. Also, like the stream if you hadn't got a chance to yet. They end up fighting 34 more kids and a lunatic and drugs in the woods. Yeah, no kidding. +1 for Josh watching DBZ. I do watch Dragon Ball Z, dog. What?
Were pulled over in Georgia. They had a white substance in a cup holder of their car. The officer sees the white substance. They tested it. It tests false positive for amphetamine. They told him it was Splenda sugar sweetener, and the couple were so convincing. The officers on scene who were about to arrest and charge, they actually called their sergeant and they said, "Sarge, we got this problem. We got this couple," but they're swearing up and down. The sergeant came out, and guess what he did? He actually got in his patrol car, he drove a mile to a convenience store and tore open a pack of Splenda, put it in the field drug test kit, and guess what? It tested positive for amphetamine. He went back and actually authorized their immediate release. That was Sergeant Jimmy Inlaw of Lawrenceville, Georgia. But the reality is that across the U.S., there are very, very, very few Sergeant Inlaws. And so what we have is police officers moving to arrest people based on a field drug test in which there is an unjustified level of scientific credence.
Subscribe to the NAC.
Huh.
So these guys are trying to make field test kits bad? Is that what it is? Now, we had something similar with breath, right? So at my department, we did not do breathalyzers at all. We only did standard field sobriety tests, what I would consider like a field investigation, where you're looking for like open container, you're asking questions, you're looking for evidence or that alcohol was consumed, right? Whether through their behavior or like the physical presence of alcohol. And then blood, because that was like the one and there was like a very meticulous process for like how we handled it, the type of like isopropyl alcohol you used for the site. We captured all of that stuff. The wrapper, the thing they used to clean it. I think we used iodine because isopropyl alcohol could contaminate the test. Though I'm not saying that you could theoretically get a false positive, that is an issue with the testing company, not necessarily the law enforcement side of it. You're going to go based off of what you can prove, right? And if my test kit says yes, then you go, right? It's kind of very similar to like if I believe that they're intoxicated, right? And I do my best to try to rule out medical stuff if I'm doing an investigation like that. Some sort of injury, some sort of medical emergency, them being diabetic or something like that, right? But though I do like that defense attorneys are the front line of making sure that your civil liberties are being protected by the system, right? And the system is bad. This is the kind of stuff that also creates like a really big quagmire for doing what should be a very simple. DWIs are the best example I could think of like how incredibly complex and time consuming those investigations become due to defense attorneys. Same thing with like domestics. We ended up getting this huge packet, and this was thank you to the DA's office here, right? The district attorney's office gave us this ridiculous packet for investigating domestic violence. So if one strangulation was involved in domestic violence, it ups the charge, right, to a felony. Well, I had to ask like a bunch of weird questions in this packet that most victims of a crime didn't want to answer. But if I didn't do it, the DA's office threatened to not take the charge. And so like it was complicated to say the least. But criminal defense attorneys were the reason why they changed their policy on this. It's not because the DA's office was necessarily being evil. It was just that they were adapting to the defense basically strategy for some of these charges. Cut Splenda into your drugs. Basically, I mean, like at the end of the day, you know, I don't know. Shit's wild. Yeah, we had a threshold also. Like, again, it's why, like, blood alcohol content has to be above 0.08 for it to be considered DWI. Because theoretically, like, if I had 0.02 and I went from arrest to getting my blood drawn, like, in 30 minutes, there's no way I metabolized it fast enough to get my blood alcohol to go down that fast. I probably don't get charged for that. Versus if I'm like a 0.2... and I've been in custody for 3 hours before they drew my blood, it's going to be very easy to prove that I was intoxicated at the time of operating my motor vehicle.
About you drinking and driving, man. No, I haven't been drinking and driving.
You haven't been drinking and driving?
No.
Shut the door.
I literally just
Shut the door.
At home.
Here's the deal. Talking to you right now, I can tell you've been drinking.
No.
Yeah. So I haven't seen you driving?
Correct.
Okay. So let's call for a ride.
Okay. I'll pull over.
No. Well, you're not going to get in the car. If you get in the car, I'm going to have to arrest you. Okay?
For what?
For getting in the car, having physical control of a vehicle. All right? So let's call for a ride, man. I'm trying to prevent you from getting a charge.
I don't think I'd get a charge.
Yeah. So let's call for a ride.
I mean, I literally just...
Dude.
Your
girlfriend's the one that called on you. Your girlfriend called. She's concerned.
Yeah, I know. Wife called. I'm probably at home.
Okay. You need to call for a ride.
Okay, I'll give her a call right now.
Right now. Do not sit down.
Okay,
Okay. The minute you sit there, you're in physical control of a vehicle. Okay.
So you have PI here. We're gonna ruffle some feathers here. So and Keith, you can put me back at the guardrails if you feel like I'm being extra. But
yes,
the way I'm articulating, why is this okay? He's intoxicated. He's in a public place. Is close to driving a car. Has the means of operating that car.
Yep.
And I'm trying to prevent him from doing that. I have public intoxication, right?
You do 4-hour hold still.
And so it's a citation. Probably end up towing the car, or if I'm very cool, I park it in a parking spot. Just ask the gas station, is it cool if the car stays here for a little bit? But that's a Class C misdemeanor, right? That's a ticket. It's like $100 or something like that. DWI, if it's first offense, maybe not be first offense, right? Is a Class B misdemeanor.
Yep.
And is way more expensive on the back end. You potentially have to get
days. Yep.
Oh, dude! Not to mention, like, if you have to end up doing like probation or something, and you get the stupid interlock device and all that, like, ugh, it's awful. I think you have the ability, because you do have PI. You have PC for PI, not reasonable suspicion, but PC for PI. I think physically preventing him from getting in that car is important. I would have already pulled him away from that car and shut the door and told him, you're either calling or you're going for PI, versus being in this middle ground. I would be leveraging that. I'd like to see them leverage that instead of being in the situation where if he's really motivated, he like shoves this officer, gets in the car, and now you're in a pursuit with a drunk person,
and an assault on the officer.
No kidding, right? So protect him from himself.
Yes.
He's drunk.
Give me the keys.
Okay, yeah. I will give her a call
right now. Call for a ride right now.
Give me 2 seconds. I apologize. I didn't realize this was a big deal.
Drinking and driving's a big deal, man. We don't want to see you.
I wasn't drinking.
Stop. We don't want to see you hurt somebody or yourself.
I know, I get that. My parents said the same thing.
Okay. You've been
this
drinking.
backup officer.
Driving, but
yeah, I don't understand why you're.
His posture.
We're preventing you from going to jail tonight. Yeah, basically, dude. That's being nice. You get in that car, that's what's going to happen. I'm giving you the break of your life right now.
Okay. I still don't understand.
What's that?
I still don't understand why you stopped me.
Get on your belly, we got a call.
What is it? Shh, stop talking.
You've been drinking. You already, yeah, you told me you were.
There it is. Custodians is already asking for it.
I'll get your ID.
Goodness.
Bro, drunk people are the worst.
I
didn't drink before I was a cop. I for damn sure don't do it now. This ruined me for alcohol.
Psychiatry to get it.
I never want to be this big of a pain in the ass.
I don't think you are.
I am.
I mean, I'm not out to kill anybody.
Okay.
Clear. Give it. I'll take it. Oh, hold on. Before you call that in.
5-minute headquarters break right now.
Oh wow! It just
sweep the leg. Yeah.
I'll be honest. At that point, they're just being lazy by not taking the enforcement action. Being in this weird, like, you're going to spend more time, like, negotiating with this guy than you would have just hooking him up, parking the car, and being done with it. I'm going to take 2, to be honest. They didn't do anything unlawful, but they also didn't do anything. I'm sure eventually they came to a determination. I don't have a problem with them being like, if you can Uber home, I'll let it all go. But this like weird, it took way too long. But it's the end of shift probably for them. Ooh, this is a spicy meatball. We don't get to know who this is.
To a dispute about a racist neighbor making threats. They were not prepared for what would happen next.
I can show you my...
Do what?
Oh, here's what I was looking for. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to do this, but...
Patrolman, you have a
This is what I was looking for.
I need to mark these up a little better so I can see them right.
But we'll organize them just for you, Keith.
Yeah.
I will arrest you. I don't think I'll get a charge.
Racist neighbor gets instant karma. Okay.
This will be
Let's take a look. It's not like I'm afraid.
Stay alert.
Please, out of my house.
You invited us in, man.
Yeah, you just asked us to come in. No, I'm not mad at you guys.
These are your people.
No, it's cool. Here you go.
I slammed on my brakes and my dog smashed into my dashboard. If I had not slammed on my brakes, and mind you, I am going very slow watching out for your blind one, your younger dog would be dead right now. Your younger dog does this quite frequently. You need to figure something out and control your dogs, or one of them will end up getting hit and killed by someone.
Okay.
Wait. He's a what?
You dropped the hard R on that one.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Right now, your younger dog does this quite frequently. You need to figure something out and control your dogs, or one of them will end up getting hit and killed by someone.
Okay. I don't believe in those. You know, I don't mean it that way. What I mean is he is
he drunk?
Bad neighbor. Maybe better said that way, right?
I'm just trying to figure out, because he said up until today he's seen you go.
He's got a lot of sway, right?
Mm-hmm. Got some slur.
Hey, can you talk to me over here on the side?
Yeah.
I'm petty.
Past, and you've always waved at each other and everything, and he's.
Yeah, well, here's what the mistake he made.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what. Watch this. I said, as I nearly blew his dog up. Mm-hmm. You saw that, right? I'm like, dude, I don't want any dogs to die. I've been through that pain.
Right.
I picked off a dog in Princeton. I picked off a dying dog, bleeding out his fucking mouth.
You think maybe... So PI, or him being drunk's one thing, right? He's got like a little bit of the like, not Parkinson's shake, but like with as much as he's kind of struggling for articulation, there might also be like some MHMR issue here, where he's got like some sort of mental health long term. I'd be asking if he's like prescribed any like.
I think he's just shit faced.
It could be smashed though. I would have been like leaning in, trying to get like a little sniff of like, you might be smashed, dog. With as much as he's swaying, I've also seen this too, where you'll get people that like you'll get guys that'll get like a bulge disc in their back or like a bad knee or something like that from like an old injury, and they'll get prescribed OxyContin. They'll do that with like a beer, and like they're gone. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. That something's weird just with this behavior.
Little girl coming, 23-year-old girl coming. I hate to pick that.
August 22nd.
I don't want to.
So that's
see
preseason.
Yeah.
So he may be drinking it on a Sunday during football.
He says this is preseason.
Yeah, it's preseason. So he might be getting hammered watching football and being a jackass.
Sam, as long as you plant the kiss on my forehead, I'd let it happen.
I said, I don't want to see that again. So this is what I told him. I said, dude, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a dog get hit. So he never really got it. And so therefore I'm like, you're not getting this shit, man. So I upped my game. I'm like, do you not realize your dog gonna fucking die, bro?
Has the dog come out since then?
Well, he came out, and I'm like, oh, dang, it's cool. It's a very long list of what he's done to me and my family.
I wonder if it's also like a duplex, because the way the door's kind of arranged, if maybe they didn't just like make a little duplex out of this thing.
Dude, I didn't touch him.
Well, he was frightened enough that he said he went into the house and called us. So.
I know what he did. Because here's what people do. And when they're chicken shit, you know what they do? Call the police. Call the popo.
Well,
Call the 5-0.
I would rather them call us than have something happen to somebody.
Call the 5-0.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you know what? And that's cool. But these little fucking chicken shit, these little fucking niggers.
He's dropping it again.
But I did.
Well,
they always go, oh my God. I'm like, I never laid a hand on them.
Where were you coming from today? I mean,
I was here the whole time.
Well, you drove past his house. Like, I was just wondering where you were coming from earlier.
No, I've been here the whole time.
Okay. You had quite a bit to drink today.
He did smell it. Let's go. Yeah. It's pretty good. Don't forget, just Florida Vet to the pool.
You can smell it coming from you, and you're slurring a little bit. So, I mean, it's pretty early yet, so.
It doesn't matter. I've been here the whole time.
Okay, well, sometimes it affects your judgment, you know, if you've had a lot of alcohol.
I get that.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm even smarter than you are.
Okay.
I get that.
Is this, I mean, are you having a bad time of it or something? I mean, is this...
You have no clue, bro.
Okay.
You have no clue, bro.
Okay.
So, here's what we gotta do. Like, I'm outie. He hurt my dad.
Okay.
My dad, and he's fighting a battle on his own.
Okay.
And he's hurt him over and over and over again.
I think he definitely...
So the amount that he's licking his lips also makes me think that he's potentially like really, really dehydrated. You could almost kind of hear the cotton mouth, like in his mouth or whatever. I got to articulate a medical need here. Start asking him questions. Do you feel safe?
Yep. Call fire. Get them fire boys over there. Go 10-8.
What day is it? Who's the president? What year is it? Do you want to hurt yourself? I'm petty, dog.
Definitely need to leave him alone. I mean, he's
doing a good job
investigating.
I'm just being
That's the
dumb.
biggest heart in the world. These little fucking niggers didn't say it, but I did.
Scott, I'm gonna say something now. So I've been doing this job for quite a while, and so has Deputy Zoomer.
Yeah, I respect that.
And I can tell you that you're pretty intoxicated right now.
I would agree.
And
I would agree.
Sometimes you make poor judgments when you're intoxicated, where I think if you were sober, you probably would have handled that differently, or not handled it at all.
I would agree, but yet disagree.
So that's a Tuesday.
You know what? I did that.
Yeah, also a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I bet you he lost it at the pickleball tournament.
Could be.
There's only one reason I did that, for my dad.
Okay. Well, and your dad's old enough. I know your dad. He can handle his own situation too with him if he needs to. So, but you shouldn't be doing it when you're intoxicated. If you want to have a civil conversation with somebody when you're sober,
The
that's
defense
the time to
attorney
do it.
just quit.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Squirtle, yes, that is Deputy
Fair
Zuma.
enough.
All right.
So, we're still not
Here's
touching
the
his
issue.
hands.
Yes, sir.
You know he peed and didn't wash his hands.
I want you to listen to me now. I'm going to need you to turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for disorderly conduct.
Whoa.
Turn around. If you resist, I will send my dog and he will bite you.
Okay. The dog threat's a bit much. There's 2 people on scene. You should be able to effect an arrest without sicking a dog on people.
Turn around.
This is what it is.
Turn around.
Wait a minute.
No.
You're gonna fucking tased. You're gonna get tased.
Sweep the leg here. What are we tasing for?
Yes. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Around the house.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Where you hear the like cacophony of it's like a rave of FAFOs, and I'm taking 10, dog. The threat for the canine, and then you know what, I'm gonna take 15 at this point. Threat of canine. I was here for the invest. I don't know that you got DOC. I have a hard time with that, especially if it's out of your presence. But the taser deployment, you've gone with DOC, and you're going to articulate it in whichever magical way you want. You're going to tase him. You're going to let him get back inside, threaten him with the dog, and then lose the going to the ground fight. Like, it's a bad look. It's 2v1. It should have been over 5 seconds.
Put your 219 behind your taser deployed. We're fighting.
Why?
Put your hands behind your back.
We're not
You're
fighting.
gonna get tased again.
We're more like witnessing.
I swear, if they just had a sap.
A sap?
Sap would fix it. Sap would do things.
Millennial, is this taught? I don't get this at all, to be honest. Like the back of the leg, taser hold here. Not saying this wouldn't be uncomfortable.
It's a good muscle group. That would definitely be effective.
It'd be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but like, he's not helping the arrest, is what I'm kind of getting at. You know what I mean? Like, he could easily go up and grab this hand and help.
He'd be better off figure four his legs and then put his body up where he can
keep him from posturing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Help.
Don't resist.
I was just here.
Don't move. Do not move.
Do you have anything in your pockets that I need to be worried about?
No.
Anything?
Don't move.
Anything at all in your pockets?
No.
Stop moving. You're gonna get tased again. Stop.
You know how you prevent him from? That's whatever.
Moving.
They're not doing anything
Flip you on
illegal.
This side. Just gonna check your pocket out. All right, Scott. Listen to me now. I'm gonna roll you my way, and you're gonna sit up on your butt and bring your front up. Okay? Roll this way.
He's still holding the taser.
Go ahead and sit up.
He's still holding the taser.
Let's just take these off.
Come on,
I
Deputy
can't take those
Zuber.
off.
Okay.
You just wrestled with us, so.
I'm sorry.
Can you get an ambulance here? He's got a wound to his lower neck, presumably from a taser dart.
These hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Disorderly.
Okay.
For what happened today.
And resisting. Resisting arrest.
Oh boy. I'm
I mean, he
sorry for
resisted,
that.
but
Well.
he's been humbled by Dr. Watts.
I've been through.
Okay.
Yeah, he fell because he's drunk.
When can I pay this? Or my rest?
I want to make sure.
Bro.
We didn't do anything to you, sir. Yeah, I hit the wire.
That's what I thought.
Just take these off.
Hey, buddy, but you got to go on with the program when we're here, because Scott lets you off.
I'm gonna skip forward.
Up.
The stage of drunkenness can also be called stuck on stupid. Longer term, it can increase the chance of Alzheimer's disease and cause alcohol-related brain damage.
We're learning medical
I
stuff.
want to know what my jurisdiction is.
You don't have jurisdiction. What do you mean your jurisdiction is battered? The ambulance is here. They're going to check you out, okay?
No ambulance.
Just remain. I want you to bring it around in front. He's going to have this ready for you. I want you to put your wrist right in here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why are we moving these to the front?
Right up here. Right like this.
They put a waist chain on
your
it?
wrist around.
Yeah.
Just keep it like this.
Keep it just
Oh,
like
they
that.
put it's a belt.
Yeah, but like,
Put a restraint
why?
belt.
Hold on now. I got a safety lock them so they
You
don't
know?
tighten up on you, okay?
We're
We're going to get you up now.
Like, I didn't even have this. Just double cuff him if he's having shoulder issues, you know? He didn't have shoulder issues when he fought you. Hmm?
Okay. Ready? 1, 2. Do you have any medications you need, sir?
Yes, yes.
I'm still trying to figure out the DOC.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that you got DOC. Because, like, yes, the guy was nervous. They got into a shouting match. The guy said some racially insensitive stuff, maybe. But, like, he made it home. Maybe he got hammered while he was home. You don't get to know any of that stuff, right? You don't have DWI by a mile. Unless he admitted to it, right? Which he didn't. He's on his front porch when you make contact with him. I don't know that you got disorderly, dog.
Yeah.
So we had.
I don't know what state this is, and that's kind of the problem. You know, we sit here, we're well versed in what ours are.
I was about to say Texas, we're literal subject matter experts, but
like this could be freaking Nebraska or something, and who the hell knows what they got going on up there.
So just to bring it into context, the reason why we're having issues with it, so a misdemeanor outside of my presence is oftentimes non-arrestable, even at times enforceable. I can take a report. Yeah, but they'd have to do a lot of investigating on their part to get PC.
Yeah.
And you've required probable cause for the arrest. Well, on a he said, she said, you know, without physical evidence, unless it's now felonies outside of my presence are a little different, right? But a misdemeanor outside of my presence is going to be very hard outside of a handful of exceptions, right? And then the issue is like disorderly conduct typically is going to have to happen in a public place. He's on his way home. Maybe he's in this guy's front yard. Maybe he's doing something like that. But like maybe road rage, you might be able to get away with. or something like that. If he's, but even then, like, you're gonna take a report and leave. You're not really. You're gonna probably get the guy identified. I'm here for saying that you have a detention and maybe reasonable suspicion that because you had an alleged offense, right? You're gonna do your due diligence to go and figure out who he is. But if he doesn't answer the door,
yeah,
he doesn't want to tell me anything. He's got a Fifth Amendment right. He doesn't have to. I can't compel him to speak, nor do I think I even have the authority or exigency to escalate. So then, like, that's kind of why, like, the use of force gets kind of weird. It also went very poorly, but, like, all of it's very weird because the disorderly conduct. And again, the resisting charge requires that you had probable cause for disorderly conduct. And not to be on only robbers, I just don't know if they have it. At least in Texas, this would be a very sussy arrest. Yeah. I can't imagine that those elements of the offense change that much from one state to another. They often don't. It would
fires there. Tell him it's his lucky day. We've decided not press charges. Go 10-8.
Right, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry for the scuff, but you're not going to jail, so don't make us go back.
If Big Sarge showed up on this and I gave him that explanation, like, Big Sarge would be like, "Don't you go and let this guy out of handcuffs?" Like that's okay. A write-up that came out of this, I wouldn't be mad about.
Yeah.
Not old boy pitting the chick on the highway.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my God, Michigan. Oh, dear Lord. That's Bill's people.
That is Bill's people.
Sure we need to call him tomorrow and talk to him about that.
But you need to get your people together. I want to see what this report says.
When Scott arrived at the jail, he was administered a preliminary breathalyzer.
Oh my God. But being drunk at home is not a crime. But
no,
golly, 0.3 is pretty high.
Yeah.
Test. It showed that Scott had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.309, which is dangerously high and potentially life-threatening.
Call fire, dude. I don't know. It's whatever.
Scott's charges are...
Okay, hold on. He will be requesting charges on disorderly conduct. He created a disturbance at residence causing so-and-so to become fearful for his safety and actually to retreat into his residence to call the sheriff's office.
So that's when you file a terroristic threat. You don't file a DOC.
I was going to say. Because that wouldn't...
So stupid.
And again, terroristic threat...
I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're not going 10-15 on scene. Probably not. I don't know. Anyways. He had to retreat into his residence. His hands were visibly shaking. That's still terroristic threat here in Texas. Also told me he was concerned for his wife if he had to leave the residence and did not want her to be home alone. I don't know, dude. That's assuming the guy's going to go and do a vehicle or like a home invasion and all that kind of stuff. You don't get to like... The reason I have issue with him using this in his PC affidavit or his summary narrative is like the fear of someone committing an offense against me, unless they have the ability to do it readily, is nothing. Right? Like a terroristic threat, I can understand. He's my neighbor. He yelled at me. It caused me to be in fear. I'm now in fear. Maybe you have harassment. You could probably go that route, but still a report. You're going to get the guy identified, but I don't know that you get to jail him for that. Argue with me in the comment section. I don't know that we have it. I'm going to take 15 from county because I don't think that's a lawful arrest. 10. We're at plus 10 now. Okay. Oh, Ohio Bodycam's got kind of a cool intro.
We're going to stop him. Oh, he's going around another unit left of center. Do you know it, Southway?
What? Yeah, he's like a grappler on this guy.
Is he continuing north?
Yeah, we're at the intersection right now. He's going eastbound. Eastbound on Southway, going about 4 mile an hour on the lawnmower, Toro.
We're in pursuit.
No license plate.
Everyone's gonna start yelling "pit." Y'all are the worst.
4 miles an hour.
I'd be nailing him with the siren.
To wave me off.
Hit him with the siren. Spike strips. Spike strips wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Hell, I'm westbound on Southway. I see him coming. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll stop.
I'd hit him with the siren a few more times.
We're headed towards the construction zone. No traffic. Eastbound.
See,
Southway at Denmont.
you likely have evading in a vehicle, failure to maintain a single lane of traffic. I'd keep hitting him with that siren. I'd make it very annoying. Because he's being annoying. He thinks people are trying to get around him. I get in the PA. Hit him with the PA and pull over. There's the police.
He's going through a yard. He's going through 2 yards northbound. Continuing north through other front yards. 3900 block of Clark. Headed towards Hazelbrook.
I just rip him off that thing.
He's crazy.
Oh, is he gonna athletic jog and rip him off? Oh, he totally is. Oh, this guy's an absolute Chad. I bless the taser deployment. Oh, this video is gonna make me a little sick. Just rip them off.
Okay. Whose people is this? Is this yours or mine?
I think these are my people.
Continue east. Correction. Continue west. Continue west.
Yep, police.
Yeah, it says police.
He ran on foot and caught up to him in this stupid zero radius.
Oh wow.
This old man's ignored multiple siren deployments and stuff. He's evading they keep trying to pin him.
They tried to pit his lawnmower?
No, they didn't try to pit him yet.
Oh, okay.
I'd be a little nervous though. I mean, that dude could tear you up with that thing. I'll be honest. If you're getting into this situation, this old guy probably gets punched in the face.
Yep.
So the issue here. The pause. The issue here is that the lawnmower is very dangerous. I mean, this is a full-on brush clearing lawnmower. He's resisted multiple attempts to stop him. You've given him the siren. You've given him the lights. These were fully marked patrol cars. I'd like to hear a yell. I talked about the PA system just so that you can eliminate any possible doubt that you were law enforcement trying to interact with him, especially if he's going senile. He might not know, right? That being said, yeah, you're going to have to escalate force. You've now had multiple officers try to approach on foot. And so, can you detain a mower with your body? No, typically. But like I said, you probably, maybe not OC him, but I mean, theoretically,
just pit him, tackle him, snatch him off there.
I was going to say, you what really, and this is very underrated. People don't realize it. When people are wearing jackets or backpacks, right by the collar.
It's a handle.
Oh, it's super easy. It's super easy.
You can slam somebody so hard with that.
Yeah. Also, if you
so I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard that. Yes.
So I've been told.
So I've been told.
I cannot confirm.
There's a rumor.
That's just that zero radius is so sketchy.
Is this thing trying to tase his mower?
Yeah. Can't tase the old timer. I mean, he's gonna run out of gas eventually. I just run up there and rip him off.
He's going back to Hazelbrook. You all right?
He's not driving. He's traveling.
There you go,
Robert.
Spot on, Robert.
You'll have a pocket too. I'll give 5 to chat for that one. That's pretty good. You guys can thank Robert. You guys are at plus 15 for chat.
What did they lose him?
Jacket on, didn't even penetrate it. I lit him up. Bill lit him up.
Because it's a taser.
Well, plus, anytime I see township on a vehicle, that's where it's like a little bit,
It's like
I think Quakers, when I see township, Quakers and Amish.
So there's like county, like small time county, and there's like the county that could bring a helicopter and a tank to come get you. Like, not all counties created equal, right?
Yeah.
Local PD, yeah, dude. Township, lower the expectations. Wife took his keys. Nature found a way. Oh, that's how you know you messed up. You have to hang out in the back.
A few moments later.
Bill around?
Not yet, but he's supposed to be here shortly.
Okay.
Alright, what has he done now?
Who's he with?
What has he done now?
Well,
we got some property that we got from him yesterday. We wanted to get back to him.
okay, I got my friend Miss Linda picking him up.
So my only issue with the fact that they didn't escalate force to take him into custody is so easily family, pets, and animals, right? Easily getting run over by this guy. But let's get more concerned here. Let's say I'm a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old that gets hit by this thing and falls. That's a dead kid. Kind of the same thing if you just happen to be like a slower runner or whatever. You're not as, I mean, they're having to run to get away from it. That zero radius is fast. The longer he's not in custody, the bigger like he is from a safety standpoint. Kind of like our complaint about that one, I think it was San Diego PD that took like 15 hours to take a guy into custody running around with a gun in his hand.
Yeah.
Kind of, and it's kind of the same issue here. Is like you need to escalate force if it's taken this long. I would have been fine with hitting him with a car at this point. Not like to kill him. You're not hitting him at like 50, but like leverage a car. Go up there and baton the guy. Like now you're able to justify higher levels of force. He's done everything in his power to resist and is driving in people's lawns now. He's not even staying in the roadway. Like, we need to do that. I know it's sad. He's probably just a senile dude, but he's a dangerous senile dude for as long as he's on that stupid mower.
Did you guys track down his stupid mower that he...
Oh, he said stupid mower too.
Yesterday on?
Yeah, we have his mower. Crazy Bill.
Oh, he's a nut.
I don't know why he does the things he does.
Well, I can explain that to you, why he do. With his wife stealing his money,
Mitch.
moving to Thailand, he's just all stressed out. He's discombobulated.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
Discombobulated. That's a $15 word right there.
All right, Bill.
All right, now what the hell you guys want?
Come on. Do you have any pocket knives or anything like that on you?
I got a machine gun.
She's got like 6.
He said, I got a machine gun.
Yeah.
Any pocket knives? I don't have my
Gloves? Come on, dude. I'm at -8 so far.
Check real quick.
Oh, Christ, I ain't got nothing. Got a couple of flashlights. Oh, don't knock me over.
I'm gonna take this whole snappy thing off too.
It's holding his pants up.
Probably.
What time did you get released today? Okay. Come on back here, Bill. Stay right there until we're done, okay?
But they got.
How far chase with him?
Yesterday was for the warrants
Yeah, utilize them.
before that.
You know they're not doing anything.
What you're getting arrested for
Man.
today is what you did yesterday.
Oh, come on. Driving a lawnmower.
All you had to do was stop.
Well, they charged me $600 the last time I stopped.
Well, now you're facing a bunch of charges.
They towed my lawnmower.
We did. You're right. 51.
I didn't have $600 to mow the grass.
51.
I didn't damage nothing.
One in custody.
What is there a law against driving a lawnmower?
His manage.
I'm serious.
Continue to chill.
Good idea. I'm getting arrested.
Oh, it's really quiet. I'm sorry. Senior people can't drive a lawnmower, but you can elect a president.
You saw us there, that's why you turned down this way.
And they could have Senate
you
seats
saw us
and all
there,
that.
that's why you guys turned down this way.
I figured you guys up to something no good.
You give that. Bill, come on.
At least he's not combative.
Why did you us?
This crazy old dude. We had a couple of these.
County jail and book.
Watson.
I want to see what it says here.
William Wackerly, also known as Crazy Bill by the Perry Police Department, was taken to the Stark County Jail and booked on several charges, including felonious assault, failure to comply, resisting arrest, obstruction, criminal trespass, and driving under suspension. He was found guilty on August 15, 2024. According to the website of the Clerk of Courts, he was sentenced to 72 days in jail, fined $150, suspended his driver's license for 365 days, and received 6 points on his driver's license record.
Dude.
Felonious vehicular assault? We need to make up the term suspect privilege. Right though?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that trooper that pitted the lady driving the it's like technically got a worse punishment. Like this is wild, man.
Well,
I'm gonna take 5 from administrators for not like making that guy take like I don't know, some sort of probation or something, like to keep track of him or like admit him to like a mental asylum or something.
They need to chip him.
Something, anything. I'm gonna take 8 from municipals. Just because that took way too long. I'm glad nobody got hurt, but like if that guy was more motivated or a kid got hit or something, I'd be salty. Is this my people? Is this your people? Let's see.
Hey, how's it going? I'm off the load with the Black Police Department.
My people.
Did you think you were safe in the liquor store parking or drive-through, man?
No, this is where I'm coming.
You got a headlight out, bro. You got your license on you?
Yes, sir.
7-step approach. Gave PC for the stop. Let's go.
You got an ID on you?
This is a clue here.
No, sir, I don't. You don't?
Do you have like a Lilo and
Thank
Stitch
you.
hat?
What's your first and last name, ma'am? 306.
Good on him for trying to get her identified too. My brother here does not miss a meal. Hell yeah.
you walk back here? Just have a seat right here. That way we're not in between the car. Who is he to you?
He's, I know him from a buddy of mine.
You know him from a buddy of yours?
This was real common. This was upsettingly common where I worked.
Where's mom and dad?
At home.
Do they know you're out with a 29-year-old man at a liquor store, plastered drunk?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you already got the teen on Intox. Any amount of intoxicated, not at home or around your parents. Actually, that's a pretty efficient set of questions. Parents aren't here. You're drunk. If she agrees to any of this, she's an idiot, but she is drunk, so she probably will.
Well, I think she said the driver's hammered.
Oh,
I don't know if he said she is.
Okay, I see.
I mean, I can call him if I have my phone, but I don't have anything with me.
That's sussy.
Right now.
What's mom's name?
Teenager without a phone.
Sussy. Also, like, incredibly vulnerable.
My mom got married to that's my stepdad.
That's fine. All right, and they're at home right now?
Yes.
Do you know either one of their numbers?
305.
54, is that mom or dad?
That's my mom.
Okay. I think that works for
Are they riding two, man? Shout out to them.
At 12:40 a.m. I'm calling her mom. I'll join back in a minute. 14
Yes.
Hey Shannon, so I'm out here with Morgan. Are you aware of where Morgan is right now?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay, is there any reason Morgan should be out at 1 o'clock in the morning with a 29-year-old man at a liquor store?
Ruh-roh.
And
no,
she's
sir.
absolutely drunk?
No, sir.
Okay,
Sheriff's Department's got Morgan up somewhere.
+1 for knowing the phone number.
29. She's in Palaca.
FAFO said they're riding three, man. Yeah. Oh, boy's a big dude.
At Dean Still.
Dean Stills. What the fuck? I have no idea.
She claims y'all were aware of it.
We were aware that she was going out with a friend, is what she told us.
Yeah, well,
she was going to stay the night with her friend tonight, and we said, okay. After she was coming back, she said no, she was going to hang out.
Are you guys familiar with Matthew?
Yes, sir. I'm not aware of that name.
Well, that's the man she's with. How far do you guys live from...
Bro, he is not trying to do this, taking this chick into custody thing. I respect it. I've done plenty of field drop-off cards or whatever. That's what we called them.
From
I live out in the Lake Estates in Interlaken.
At return.
Okay, is there any way anybody can come and pick her up?
Ed, can you go pick her up, please?
-10 for society.
Yes, sir.
I'll take 20.
Okay,
I'll take for parenting in society.
Her leave as drunk as she is with a 29-year-old man and her being a child.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't approve of that either.
Okay, we're currently in the Dean Still drive-thru. So if you guys could try and get here in a reasonable amount of time, please.
Yes, sir.
I've been beat for less, for sure.
My husband's getting dressed right now. He's coming from Interlaken Lake Estates.
Okay, is there a phone number I can reach him at if I need to get in contact with him?
Yes, sir. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. I've got her sitting out here on the curb, and I'm still on a traffic stop with him right now, so I'm just waiting on him to get here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm sorry. All right.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Well, Mom and Dad allege they have no idea that you're out with a grown man at 1 o'clock in the morning. They said you were supposed to be at a friend's house or something.
Yeah, he was taking me to my friend's house.
Okay, well, Dad's on the way to
Likely
pick you
story.
up.
Kids are terrible at lying, dude. Like, you get to like in the 30s, like suspects get very good at suspecting, but like, dude, pre-25, like they're terrible at this. Like, once you interview people for a living, like the younger they get, just the worse they get at it.
So, y'all aren't going anywhere until they get here. So just hang tight right there. Hey man, do me a favor and just step out and talk to me for a second.
Now, I think you have potentially providing alcohol to a minor on driver here. I would have liked to seen a line of questioning on that from him, but I'm petty.
That's good. Right there. You want to just step out and talk to me for a second? I'm just talking to you right here. Okay, well, you're not under arrest or anything. But just before I ask you anything, I'm going to go ahead and read you your rights, just to cover the bases.
We Mirandizing this guy if he's not under arrest?
See why they should be doing that. He's still in the investigation stage.
Like, you know what I mean? And then, like, if he's saying, and the cops are allowed to lie about you being under arrest or not, but the issuing of Miranda is either you, again, there's the field of thought that once you have enough for PC that you should read Miranda, and or the school of thought that I come from, once I go 10-15 and actually take you to custody, I will read Miranda if, and only if, I'm going to ask questions pertaining to an offense.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do cannot be held against you in the court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, won't be.
Bro, if that was that girl's picture on his phone. So
appointed to you. Do you understand these rights they've been read to you?
That's his screensaver.
Having these rights in mind when you talk to me? Okay, dude, you're 29 years old. You're riding around with a 17-year-old girl who's clearly intoxicated.
Or their driver's license, so that explains it.
This explains a lot.
Yep.
Store drive-through. What the heck?
Sorry, phone.
I don't know. She said she wanted Dr. Pepper.
So you came to a liquor store to get Dr. Pepper?
No, I came for Crown.
Likely story.
Me. I'm grown.
So what's the deal with her? Where did she come into all this?
Well, I live behind my mom's house, and she was over there with my friend. She said she needed to get some drink. So I told her I was going to get you a Dr. Pepper. That's what she wanted.
Okay, so y'all came here because she wanted Dr. Pepper and you wanted Crown.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any reason y'all didn't go to the store first before coming here?
No, just time limit.
Just a time limit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything illegal in the car?
No.
Is there any weed in here? Just be honest.
I have my card, so I may have some.
That's fine. So there is a possibility of marijuana being in the car?
There could be, because I do have
Uh-oh.
So
Too much lecture.
That's fine.
Should have just gone with questions.
Sure,
I agree.
All right. So do me a favor, man. Just go ahead and step out.
I am.
I'm not putting you in cuffs. You're still not going to jail or anything like that.
Just at -2. Only for the Miranda. Everything else is fine.
I feel like I need a lawyer to step out.
Huh? No, you need to step out because I'm going to search the vehicle.
What?
Huh? For marijuana.
Maybe don't reach. Maybe don't do that.
No.
You don't have to reach for anything.
Thank you. For at least addressing it.
Huh? That's
right
fine.
here with my name on it.
Okay. That's still perfectly fine, but I'm still going to need you to step out the vehicle, man.
So in a lot of situations, and I do think there's a lot of confusion around this, even in states where it's legal, there's going to be a legal amount you're allowed to have on hand, right? And then there's going to be the type of where you're getting it. You can't just have, like, in a lot of places, like homegrown marijuana just hanging out in your car. They're going to want to see it in specific packaging and all this kind of stuff. So technically, even in places where it's legal and you can have it, you typically do end up getting vehicle searches if they can smell it. I'm with Ricardo here. Just pull him out.
Just yeet his ass out of the car.
He should. He had a back, and the back left. So I have issue with that. But
he went for snacks.
Yeah, probably. He went to go get some snacks.
This is his blood sugar.
Yeah, dude. His blood sugar went down.
I'm up over 39. Can you send me a 35?
How does the back like?
It's not optional at this point, man. I need
Can you send me a different backup?
Yeah, no shit.
Huh? Okay, so this is going to go one of two ways. You're going to step out, I'm going to search the vehicle, or you're going to step out and go to jail.
I don't understand though.
Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. Either you step out now, or you go to jail. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be, man.
You didn't chill, Doc. Pass till make.
Step out the vehicle. Now. Get out the car.
Ah.
Rolling the window up. Get out the car.
You just shot me with tasers, bro.
Taser deployed. Get out the car. Step out.
What is this guy reaching for?
Now.
A book?
Where's Biscuits? Biscuits needs to get up here and help him.
You don't roll the window up.
Biscuits with cheese has got to get on it.
I get that.
Get out the car.
Okay. Gosh darn, bro.
Out the car. Get my phone.
Yeah,
this in between is sketchy and dangerous, and this is how officers get dragged. This is how shootings happen. Like, and I get it, because again, you can get written up for saving people's lives on the highway, but like, once you're, even the threat with the taser, right, is violence. This is gonna be a use of force report in most places. Once you're committed to it, commit. Like, don't be in that weird middle ground area, because also, like, the problem with starting with violence is now they're going to feel a little bit more justified to give you violence back. It's also like a natural human reaction that once I start to feel the pressure of someone pulling on me or pushing on me, I'm going to have some sort of natural reaction back. You need to own that encounter in that exchange, or it's very dangerous for you and everybody else.
Quit reaching.
I'm not reaching for nothing.
Get out the car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get out the car.
I'm not in the car.
Stop resisting
I'm
now.
not resisting.
Stop
I'm
resisting.
not resisting.
How this is not.
I'm not resisting, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stop.
I'm also not escalating this to myself, to be
I'm
honest.
not doing nothing.
Stop.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Out.
Christy!
Do you have like a guardian light on? Like a shoulder light?
Not sure.
What do you need, man? Roll him over.
What do you need? Yeah,
what do you need?
Put your hand out.
You need
Need your knee and his shoulders.
the pink cuff. No! No! Oh, you got to fix those later. Oh. At least you got the double lock. At least you remembered that. Is this muffins?
No, I don't think so.
Or biscuits? What are they called?
Biscuits.
Buttermilk biscuits? Officer Buttermilk.
Buttermilk biscuits.
Just skipping ahead here.
Bro,
This was
so
buttermilk.
I tell him, I'm like, hey, will you step out and talk to me? He kind of pulls up. So I walk up to the car. I was like, hey, man, that's good. Stop. So I was like, hey, step out and talk. Ask him about her. I'm like, hey, is there anything illegal in the car? Because I smell weed. Get out. He kept going back towards the seat. I don't know. I lost it.
I like how she's just chilling. With no scene security with her around. She don't walk. I'll be honest, like where I was at, if you did not have somebody babysitting her, she'd have been halfway down the street already.
Yeah.
Then you got some pissed off parents that are like, you let my drunk teen with no phone walk down the street and leave? Like, that's a write-up.
He's on the phone.
Are you hitting him twice?
Yeah, because I hit him once, but he had rolled the window up and I didn't know if the leads broke, so when I opened the door, I hit him again. I was really freaking out, but it wasn't locked apparently because I got it open. Yeah.
Sarge, great big biscuits.
Well,
So
Knew something was not right.
What's the disposition with the chick here?
I don't know.
A 9-year-old man that had a gun in the car.
This met my expectations.
And likely was reaching the pool with only Leo. So deal with that how you see fit.
You said deal with that how you see fit. Turn the body cam.
He's a convicted felon.
Oh, and he did have a gun in the car.
Sorry about this, but thanks.
Just played out the way it did. Prior to that, so she was at least out of the way. Alright, stay right there. Alright, so you've already been read your rights. You advise you're willing to talk to me, correct? Okay. Let's talk about the firearm. Yes.
What firearm?
The one in your car, which is registered to you.
That's not my car. Pants are a little easier to distance yourself from. A car is a little more complicated. Especially a car that you were operating. The argument here for the uninitiated, should I say, is that it wouldn't be that it's just registered to him, it's that he was operating it, just driving it, key on, whatever. The second you do that, you theoretically take ownership of anything in that car. You can be held accountable for anything in it. So don't be driving people's cars that you think are shady, because you could go to jail for their meth.
You don't know. You're driving a car that's registered to you with a gun in it. And you just don't know. No? Within your reach. Quite literally where you kept reaching as I was snatching you out of the car and telling you not to reach.
Well, you were grabbing at him. You didn't really snatch.
Yeah. You were tugging a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, this was like a gentle tug of war.
My notebook, my registration, my phone.
Why were you reaching for your notebook and your registration when I was telling you to get out of the car?
I was understanding my rights. As long as you can hear me, I was okay to sit where I was.
We're going to skip ahead here. I don't think there's anything else. There was nothing else. I'm going to call it neutral. I'm not taking any. I'm not giving any here. Like good on him for finding the kid and getting the kid back to parents. But technically, if the parents were going to provide some sort of adequate attitude adjustment, she probably wouldn't have been out there to begin with, right? So I would have made her sit it out in juvie until parents came and get her. It's a pain in the butt because you got to do this whole paperwork and there's an extra bit of like record sealing and all that stuff. But for the consequence, I think it makes sense. I think on the flip side too, like just from a safety standpoint, you're not going to go and try to arrest somebody. You probably need to have a little bit more than that with scene security and having an unsecured person that's out there. Like the arrest was fine. Like it was a good find and whatever, but it was just done very poorly. It's just not safe. I wouldn't be over here like trying to write the dude up, but I'd probably, if I could do some training or just talk to him about it, I would. This conversation would have happened with him if I'm supervision there.
It says
Abbotsford Police Department. I guess it's PD.
Abbotsford Police.
We'll find out pretty quickly. Here, let's see. Project Newbie.
Copy, I'll grab that. I see it. And where's your phone?
Where's your phone?
Class 7, where should your phone be? Yeah, you can't be there, you can't be touching it.
This feels like it's from across the pond.
Of
Oh, Canada!
Checking that they're...
This is Emu's people.
This is Emu's people. Abbotsford is a city in BC. I'm assuming BC stands for British Columbia.
Restrictions, they have their driver's license on them. They have their insurance with them.
Or British Canada.
Their driver's license is valid. If they are an N, that they have on the car. They don't have too many people in the vehicle.
Boot.
They're following the restrictions they're supposed to.
Following.
And in this case, it was great. I was able to offer the young fellow a little gift from one of the local detail shops here. A microfiber and a...
Maybe a sticker. I hope.
air freshener for in the car.
An air freshener?
And to encourage them to keep up the good driving habits, patterns.
Yeah, I got eyes on it. The only thing is we're kind of held up with the car because it's taking a left.
Bro, the radio voice for dispatchers is universal. That I've heard that type of radio traffic even here in Texas. That's hilarious.
It just always sounds like they're pinching their nose.
Right?
You know?
Deputy Keith, can you go ahead and let me know? Like, kind of sounds like that.
Stop, Shelby! Stop!
Wonderful. Rainy day, isn't it? 2012, oh man. It's a true BC weather. Okay, I'll give this back to you. What's your full name? He's going through this parking lot pretty hot. Oh, he is too.
Pretty hot.
Also a gray F-150, Papa Victor, ensign on the back, also one of our usuals.
Do they enforce in parking lots?
Actually, hold on a minute.
I was going to say, like, I guess rules are different over there.
So...
Squirtle, you need to chill. Drinking Gabe, take a shot every time. He says sorry. Sorry.
Oh. That will be it. So you're going pretty quick through that parking lot, okay?
Yeah.
Right, someone comes running out to their car, boom, it's over, right?
Okay, nothing but complaints from
Vehicle using the N on the back.
What class of license are you?
Class
N.
X.
So what should you have on your car?
M.
Right.
But they get taken to law now too.
So here we have a young fellow. He left the parking lot, sort of wanted to bypass all the traffic, so he went booting through the to the Planet Fitness Planet Fitness parking lot to try to beat the lineup. So I was a little bit concerned of just the speed he was going through the parking lot, and ends up he is an N driver. He does not have an N in his car. Asked him why, and they sort of.
I'm sorry. I've been in the South too long. Go ahead. Just don't ignore me.
What is going on?
I don't know.
Also, what's an N driver?
Yeah, what is...
And there's not an N in the car? Like...
We have to learn Canada. Is there not N in the car?
Like, there's some implications here.
Okay, so new driver is from EMU.
At least she clarified new driver.
Graduated program, okay.
But there's not a new driver in the car?
See, I don't know. Is it like, you know how we have like our little provisional license? You can't.
Yeah, but.
Like when you're 16 to 18, you have to have like an adult.
Oh, like an adult or a driver, like a fully
yeah.
licensed driver?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know that I care that much about that. I care more about the driving behavior, but lots of provinces require you to notify you're a new driver on a... The hell's a class 7? Bro, none of this makes any sense.
A smile when they say it and they go, oh, it got stolen.
So
the
are you supposed to have like an N, is it like a magnet or something you put on your
You're supposed to have on the trunk?
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe. Like a student driver, basically, notification. That's weird. I don't get it.
Story that almost everyone
they
uses.
have to have a sign in your car.
Oh. So we started this whole project, Newbie, which was to focus on N drivers. And a big part of it was we want to get kids engaged.
Just say new. Why do they keep saying N? Like that's any shorter.
Even said it's a class, so you.
Oh, like class C.
L, I guess you go LMN. I'm not sure, but L.
Learning new fully licensed F like fully licensed. This is weird, dog.
Engaged that are getting their driver's license, and get them engaged. And we wanted to not just engage them through ticketing for doing something wrong, but also incentive or reward to say thank you or good job for developing good driving habits.
You're pulling them over to say good. Is this municipal? Somebody tell me, is this municipal or is this county? Or is it province?
It says police. So
somebody explain to me. Give me the equivalency.
One of those was we went to a couple local businesses that were on board immediately with this, and we're excited about us giving some kind of a little package or gift to the driver for their good driving habits.
You know what would be a great gift for a new driver? Not getting pulled over. I don't know. Whatever.
51 rewards which were given out, or incentives. So actually more rewards than tickets. And a lot of conversation that wasn't captured in our results, where we had an opportunity as police officers to talk.
Municipal. Our CMP's federal. Municipal. Okay.
Yeah.
We're taking 10 points from municipal here. This is the biggest waste of day shift kind of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. You're just checking in on newer drivers. I mean, you could almost argue that this is bias via
this is
age.
profiling. Is what this is.
That's kind of what I mean, dude. Like, oh, you're a new driver? Let me jack him up for just being a new driver.
It's the P word.
Like... Like, do I take higher enforcement action or interest in cars that leave trap houses? Absolutely. My law enforcement objective is to do drug interdiction. Why? Because the majority of my shootings were coming out of drug-related areas. I don't want shootings. People get hurt in shootings.
Talk with these kids, whether we're giving them a ticket.
I'll take
Whatever
that.
he gets.
I'll take that from admin. Yeah. Admin is currently at negative 330.
Or whether we were giving them a reward of trying to start a conversation of the...
That's not a... I'm done with this. Oh, the comments are turned off. You cowards. Dislike. Wow. I was about to comment, a reward should be leaving them the hell alone. That's such a weird take. The government's like, hey, I'm gonna reward you by lecturing you about your driving patterns, of which you were not in violation of any.
Yes.
Like, your reward is to get to talk to the government. Like, man, this is a... You know how many Americans have died over stuff like this?
Just, yes.
You know what I mean?
People shoot at cops when they get pulled over,
Dog,
like
for less, dog.
It's like it's not a violation.
Oh, man. That's wild to me. That would be so many, no reasonable suspicion for the stop.
There'd be citizen complaints. It'd
It'd
be all these numbers calling to the chief.
It would be lawsuits, likely.
Yeah.
That they would win, likely.
Yeah.
Man.
You've just seized a person for no reason other than to
tell them good
job.
It's really why I have an issue with people doing pranks using traffic stops, to give a pregnancy announcement or something stupid. I'm like, dog, that the ability to stop a person that's a free person at that point in time is a very serious thing. That shouldn't be something you leverage for kicks, I don't know. I have issue. That's wild to me.
Hang on, Emu's threatening us with somebody twerking.
Oh,
okay, there we go.
Hey, it was for the twerking old guy gif. That's fair. Oh, that walked all over me. Sideswiping a rock while texting and driving. Do you guys want to guess the gender of the driver real quick? I'll do
it. The gender of the driver.
Sideswipe the rock. We'll just let it play. I'm going to get us in trouble.
An officer from the Menominee Police
Oh my God. Oh, well.
Was waiting at a red light when he observed a vehicle swerve out of its lane onto the sidewalk, hitting a rock before driving back onto the road.
I think it's a man now. Oh, whoa, hold on.
Was waiting at a red light when he observed a vehicle swerve out of its lane onto the sidewalk, hitting a rock before driving back onto the road.
Does it say student driver? This literally says drive now, text later.
Hello. Officer Ackle, please.
It's a man. Let's go. The second I saw it hit the curb, I was like, okay, this is a man. This is some dumb man behavior.
That's to be determined. We'll see how this goes. That's actually a man.
Department.
My brakes were not working correctly.
Okay.
Oh.
So we're gonna verbally admit to the vehicle violation here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Dan. Ooh, Dan. You played yourself.
Okay. And are they working?
He was a donus. Agreed. We all learned a valuable lesson today.
Exactly now?
Yeah, they're working good now.
Okay. Sure it wasn't a lack of paying attention to what was happening in front of us?
No.
It was my brakes.
Okay, because I find it hard to believe that between there and here.
I'm honest with it.
Okay.
Sometimes these brakes take a little bit of time to pump up.
Okay.
There's a little hole in there, but I got him back.
Free advice. You're not a mechanic and don't know anything about Exactly.
Just
if you don't make it up as you go. This is
yes, sir. Take your ticket.
Oh man.
That's what I meant by man. I don't mean
yeah.
Any kind of gender.
We're taking 10 from society here. We're at +5 now for society.
Okay. Do we feel like it's safe to be driving then?
Yes, it's good now.
This guy
Despite the fact that we
not,
just almost caused a crash back here, you feel like it's safe to be driving?
Yes, it's safe.
Okay. Driver's license, proof of insurance.
God, that mullet's rocking.
Dude, look at the alignment on this guy. Also, the body alignment here, he probably tore up some of this. It probably is more correct than it was before because he hit the curb.
Mm-hmm. He's working on the insurance card.
Okay, so do you have insurance on the vehicle or not?
No.
He does, but he has to get a new insurance card because this one's expired.
Okay.
He's working on getting a new one.
All right, hold tight. I'll be right back with you.
This is extra. I'm here for it. Okay, hit him with the criminal mischief, baby. Let's go. Damage to property. You want to press charges? Actually, this would just all be a vehicle accident. You think you tow it? No insurance. It was involved in an accident. See, because then there's no criminal charge. It's just an accident report.
Mm-hmm.
The city's safer because I towed the car?
Could be. He did just say that it's an unsafe vehicle. You
My
better
brakes.
Put that on the back of a Put
Brakes
that on
won't
the
work
back of a flat tow. Yep.
Got a hole in the brakes? I'm probably saving this guy's life. I should get a
Probably
life-saving
so.
award for this.
That's probably a school over there. If he goes back to that, what if there's children? Yeah, there's a school sign right down there in front of that vehicle.
We would be the most cancerous.
Dude, yeah, let's tow him.
In another universe, we're absolute menaces, dog.
Who is gangsters?
Oh my goodness.
You want this back? What's going on, man?
The brake was funky. It didn't catch right away, and I had to pump it really quick, and it
Did I catch while you were going over the curb or what?
They finally caught after I got over the curb.
Yeah, I mean, I see your. I went up there and I looked at your tire tracks, and it looks like they were catching on the roadway before you hopped up on the curb. Gotcha. How long?
He told me he was on his phone.
When was the last time you used anything? Hey, you don't know. He does not do drugs.
That's okay. He earned himself another ticket while we've been sitting here.
Littering?
Mm-hmm.
Littering. That's a petty citation.
That's one of those things that just gets me. Like, I absolutely cannot stand when people throw cigarette butts out their window.
Also, I grew up in the don't mess with Texas era of kids, and
yeah.
You don't litter, bro. In patrol simulator, police simulator, I heard a bottle hit the ground, and I was just rabid. Like I was like, oh hell no, jail. I'd take the minus points. Jail.
Did you swab them for drugs?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Dude, on night shift, I used to snag O-dubs for shit like that.
Yeah, I've stopped people for that. They weren't happy.
Okay, well, that's why they make ashtrays. The world is not your garbage can.
Agreed. God bless them.
Criminal activity, and that's dishonesty, okay? Okay, so obviously I'm not an idiot. I know that if you have a hole in your brake line and your brakes don't work, they don't just magically start working a block later, okay? So I appreciate the fact that you're honest with the other officer, but to be completely square, you lied to me.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay? So on top of that, the world is not your garbage can, all right?
Okay.
I watched you throw the cigarette out the window.
I'll pick it up.
Okay, well, you're already getting the citation for that as well.
I'll pick it up, though.
Okay, that's fine. You can pick it up after we're done, okay? I'm going to hand you that just so I don't lose it because I'm going to pull all these out and go through them with you quick. They're all going to have the same court date. That's the insurance information. Okay, they're all going to have the same court date, but it's different citations, okay? None of the appearances are mandatory, meaning if you don't want to appear, you don't have to. If you wish to contest any of the citations, then by all means appear at that court date, all right?
How much are the tickets?
Okay, well, there's a couple of them, so I'll let you look at that when I'm done, all right? So the first citation is going to be for littering, okay, obviously for the cigarette butt, all right? Second one's going to be for resisting obstruction. So the obstruction is obviously you lied to me about what happened,
right.
Okay?
How much is that?
Bruh. Lied to him about the brakes? I don't think that counts for obstruction. Does it?
Well, you made a statement during a lawful traffic stop.
But like,
he stated it as fact. There's a hole in my brake. They work. It takes a while to pump them up, and now they don't work, and then they work again.
I feel like it's a stretch, but I think if he can articulate it and saying that he's trying to avoid like or use that as a device to try to justify like his actions or something like it's just weird. I would have never. I don't know that I stretch for that on obstruction. Now, if he like couldn't find his ID, so just gave it verbal, maybe lied, you're gonna have failed ID on something like that. If he like moved to the passenger seat and was like, "Well, I wasn't driving," right? Like, well, now you're trying to distance yourself from it or whatever. Maybe I could say that, like, you're trying to eliminate evidence of said crime or whatever. Maybe obstruction's a stretch.
Okay, like I said, you can.
That's a POP ticket right there.
And the next one's going to be for texting while driving.
I'm with Little Duck
After
too.
that, it's going to be off-road operation for operating your vehicle off a marked roadway. Okay.
Sure.
Past that, it's going to be failure to keep vehicle under control.
Yeah, I mean, fail to control your vehicle.
I'm not saying no, but you're likely going to do one or the other, right? So, like, that'd be like me saying speed and following too closely, right? Or something like that. Like, you would just do one or the other, probably. I bet a lot of this gets tossed. Well, he probably doesn't fight it, so probably they stay, but...
Okay, so one was for basically leaving the roadway.
Yes.
The other one was failing to maintain control. So you could lose control in the lane. I mean,
I see. Like losing control. I can see that.
And then, so there you go.
I would have rather seen like him if he admitted to using his cell phone, right, to the other officer, and that guy's willing to go make a statement on the ticket, right? Like issue the like distracted driving or some shit like that, or using your phone. That would have been a little easier.
And the last one's going to be failure to maintain.
I was just going to say, if he tells him that the law will be dismissed if he just gets his haircut. You know, lose the mullet, and I'll go to the judge and we'll dismiss all
breaks. Because that's the first one I wrote you before you told the other officer what the real reason was. So if you wish to contest any of those in court, you're more than technically owned by you, right? Okay, so it's
That's
owned
a
by
long
Dustin.
print off.
You have no mirrors on the left or right side of the vehicle.
Yeah.
The rear bumper, there's.
But if I pick up the cigarette butt, could you just throw that one out?
That's between you and the city attorney, okay? I issued the citation. I'm not a fan of voiding a citation just because someone says they're going to change their behavior, all right?
Because it's in the middle. You know? I'm not redoing all that. Just take out the one in the middle.
No. If I have, and I have before, had to void a citation because somebody was able to find insurance, right? And I was like, well, damn it. Like, it's not FMFR anymore, right? So, like, I've had to do that twice, I think, actually. But drive in England, I want to do in Canada, and every meter you move. Thank you for that would be upsetting.
This is not the first cigarette butt we've thrown out of the vehicle, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, right. So my
shut up, dude.
Ashtray to keep in your vehicle that you can empty.
He's so mad.
Receptacle. All right.
This is for the lecture.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Do you have any questions for me about any of the citations that you've got?
I'll take another 5.
Okay.
I'll take another 5.
Any questions about the overall situation? Okay. Well, you can work with the city attorney on that as well. Maybe set up a payment plan or. Okay. So due to that, I'm not going to do a full DT 4000, a state-required crash report. What I'm going to do is a non-reportable crash form. Essentially, it's saying that the vehicle isn't worth over $2,000. So the amount of damage done doesn't meet the threshold to do a crash report.
So they have a POS form. State-sponsored POS form.
Interesting.
I mean, we did the blue forms. You know, if they're worth over $1,000 in damage, you know, your insurance go away now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of cool.
Interesting. Dan, also thank you for the super chat.
Okay, so if you want that information, the case number
This is
is on
lawfully
those right here.
ironic.
Agency space says M24-1277. If you need any of that information, you can request it from our office. All right, he's just going to grab some pictures of your vehicle quick. Any questions about any of that? Okay. If you choose to pay the citations without talking to the city attorney, the instructions on how to do that are on the envelope.
just
all
sit those out,
I'll just go to City Hall, to the courthouse. And pay them.
Sorry?
I go to the courthouse and pay them.
Yep, I know, but there are instructions on how to pay on the envelope.
Yeah.
All right? Okay. All right.
Robert gets it. These are all going to warrant, dog.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's going right in the garbage bin.
So, seeing as you don't currently have insurance on the vehicle, it's not operable. Okay, you can't drive it on Wisconsin roadways. You are required to have insurance. I know that you said that he's got insurance, but you are unable to provide me proof of insurance when requested, which is state law. Okay, so it's one of the things you're also getting a verbal warning for. All right. That being said, I'm not going to sit here all day. I have obviously got better things to do now that I have all.
Yeah, Robert, I often, for this very same reason, I did not machine gun citations because I knew they weren't going to get paid. And a lot of times I saw cars that didn't have handles on them, all that kind of stuff. And I'd be like, go home. I see you again. I will hit you with $1,500 worth of tickets and tow your car. And typically they would go home. But poor people aren't going to be more compliant when you make them more poor. The government charging you money because you can't afford to maintain the car to begin with isn't going to fix the behavior. You just want to see that people are operating the vehicle safely. I'd stop them every time. I mean, no taillights, no back bumper. I saw like no doors, which isn't illegal, but I was like, well, your door's gone, but also your rear view mirror's gone. And also like all this other stuff's gone. Like half of this car is gone. Like this argues to be on the verge of unsafe to drive, but Yeah. Rag for a gas cap.
But understand that if you continue to drive and you continue to behave the way that you're behaving, you could get pulled over and you could receive additional citations.
$240 in fines.
Yeah, I mean it's petty policing. I mean, the guy should have stopped him. I mean, the driving behavior was egregious.
You will be tased. Get out.
Said you will be tased. Wow. This was municipal, correct? I think I already got on.
Yes. Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna +1 it. You should have stopped him, but meh. Charging him a bunch of money is kind of dumb. What?
Me over for a traffic stop and he's gonna tase me. You can't do that, officer, because I called for your supervisor. I have my license. What is the reason I'm getting
to give your information? I told you
I didn't refuse. I asked.
Now you're resisting.
I haven't refused. I asked to speak to your supervisor. Sir, I feel uncomfortable. Please get your supervisor.
I don't give a shit what you feel like. I said get out.
Please stop it. Why are you being like this? This is how y'all really are? Please stop. This is all on tape. Please stop.
Get out of the car.
Please don't hurt me. Why are you doing this?
Do they not teach this anymore?
I'm telling you that this is not lawful.
Ooh, that one worked. Ooh, that one worked.
Oh my God, that's not lawful,
Get
sir.
out.
That's not lawful.
Get out.
What's going on, man? Hey, how you doing? Pretty good. I'm Officer from Collegeville Police Department. Regional Stops. Whenever you were coming down Talent Road, I got you at 49 and 35. Yes, sir.
Dan, you need to chill. Dan, I love you.
So what I got you at was 49. You got your driver's license, your insurance card, and your registration on you?
Do you have proof that you got me going there?
I got you by radar, man.
And am I allowed to see? Because
no, we're not doing that right now.
You don't have to do that.
If you want to argue all that, you have to go to court for it.
I'm saying that I wasn't going there.
But I'm saying that you are. So I need your information, please.
Why is it that I can't see proof?
Because it's in my car and you're not getting in my car.
I don't have to get in the car to see it.
I need your information.
Could you get your supervisor so that we can have
Give me your information or you're going to be coming out of this vehicle.
I can get out, sir, but...
Give me your information.
I'm going to turn my video on. Wow.
Get out of the car.
You can't do that for a traffic stop, sir.
623, start me now. Get out of the car, man.
Please don't touch me, sir.
I'm telling you to get out of the car.
All right, bro. Let me turn my video on.
I'm going to tase you. Get the hell out of the car.
Sir, this is a traffic stop.
I'm not saying... So, yes, Pennsylvania v. Mims, right? If he's got him for speed, sure. Speed by itself is not an arrestable offense, at least in Texas. However, failure to ID is one. However, the guy's trying to clarify your lawful authority to stop. He gave some level of explanation for that, which is good. He was able to articulate all of that. However, I'm not going hands-on by myself, likely, especially if I'm going to ask for a backup anyways, right? So why escalate the situation if you clearly can't get it in hand, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to go to the ask, tell, make, be able to do the ask, tell, make. If not, then why? And I think likely he believes he can, gets in the middle of doing it and realizes he can't, and that's where he's stuck in this weird, you can't de-escalate out of the situation, right? He asked 4 times. The refusal to do it, he met the elements of the offense for failure to ID, but that charge likely gets thrown. Especially if this, because again, imagine this thing goes viral, imagine all that kind of stuff happens, and the DA is going to be like, meh, I don't feel like keeping the charge because of the optics of the situation. I'm not saying he didn't do anything unlawful, but maybe exude a little bit more patience on this to see if he won't. I've answered all the questions. A lot of times what I would use when I knew I was going to have to escalate it is I would say, I've given you all the information legally required. Any continued refusal to do it will lead to your arrest or will lead to an escalation of me needing to use force. I'll verbally say it out loud. So his Facebook Live can hear it and my Bodycam can hear it, and he can no longer ignorantly resist. It's now knowingly and intentionally. I told you the consequences for your not doing it. Now I'm going to go do it. And then I get to use whatever force is appropriate. But I would have liked to have at least heard that. I'm probably not writing him up for that if I'm admin, but I'm going to have a conversation with him about like, yo, dog. But now we're in
Please don't hurt me,
this.
sir. I'm a good kid. Stop. Get out of the vehicle. I'm recording you. This is a traffic stop. I will tase you. Get out. Traffic stop. Get out. You will be tased. Get out. Said he pulled me over for a traffic stop. Get out. Tase me. You can't do that, officer, because I called for your Get out. I have Get out.
I'm gonna take 10 from the suspect for actually not knowing his rights.
Correct.
Just because this was all avoidable if he just hands it. So this guy's being an idiot, but it is what it is. That's Gen Z.
You refused to give you information. I told you to get out of the car. Now you're resisting. Get out. I asked to speak to your supervisor. Get out. Sir, get out. Please get your supervisor. I don't give a shit what you feel like. I said get out. Please stop it. Why are you being like this? This is how y'all really...
So just free advice. Now, normally you should be able to get this arm out of the car. We can talk about... I'm really going to do a live demo of vehicle extractions, I swear. This and handcuffing, because it drives me nuts every time I see it. However, what's keeping this kid in the car is going to be, one, his legs, but two, also that arm back here. He's able to grab steering wheel, all that kind of stuff. If you can get a hold of that right arm, you're able to leverage him out a lot more. He is grabbing the collar, which should work if you have grip strength and you're able to pull a little bit. The only thing I don't like about this is, let's say he does end up spilling out of this. Now you're both in the roadway. Is a very easy way to get run over if this is uncontrolled and doesn't happen in a good way. This is typically why it's taught that you pin the arm to the car and then pull him backwards out of the car. Also takes his leverage away from the steering wheel, him being able to use his legs inside of like the wheel well of his car, basically, like where your legs go where the pedals are. You want to pull him back towards the trunk, not out towards traffic. And currently all of his pulling is out towards traffic.
The arm? Please stop. This is all on tape. Please stop. Get out of the car. Please don't hurt me. Why get out? This? No, sir. I'm telling you, get out. I'm telling you that this is not lawful.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
Oh my God. Get out. Lawful. Get out. That's not lawful. Get out. Get on the ground. That's not lawful. Get on the ground and you will taste again. Okay, but I have my life. Get on the ground. That's not lawful. Get on the ground. That was not lawful. Get on the ground. Please help. Get on the ground. Please help. Get on the ground. I'm on the ground, but that's not lawful, sir. I have my license on. Put your hands behind your back. Please stop. Help. Please. Please help me. Please help. I can get this on the stand. I'm a real good person. I'm delivering. I didn't refuse. Yes, you did. No, I asked a question. I am allowed to ask you. I need help.
You need help? Old timer.
That wasn't
-5 for sovereign citizen. Yeah, I already took 10.
That was not right, sir.
I did take 10.
I'm delivering.
You are allowed to ask questions. I have no problem with the questions being asked. But again, at the very minimum, he had reasonable suspicion for the stop. You do have to provide some level of information as far as your driver's license, your proof of insurance, and if registration's not attached to your license plate, some proof of that, depending on the state.
DoorDash, I'm good. I'm a good person.
So dumb.
You can't pull
This
me
whole
out
stop
of a
is so
traffic stop,
dumb.
sir. Good morning, custody.
Does he have a writer with him? What is going on?
Give me your information. You didn't want to
Oh, it's 100% a dispatcher.
comply. Then I take you out of the car, and then you don't, because you refuse to comply, then we're resisting arrest. I asked for your information. I'm not arguing with you. I asked for help.
Okay, we're gonna fast forward. Just kind of want to listen to this back and forth.
He said, no, I'm not allowed to let you into my car. I said, that's fine. I don't feel comfortable, man. I have a supervisor. He yanked me. He pulled my, first of all, he opened my door without my consent, pulled me out of my car.
D for cuffing.
While I'm in the car and said, I'm not abiding by his request. I have my license in my hand. I just asked for a supervisor and he got upset. That wasn't right to be.
Okay, they need to be slowing everybody down. There's no reason for people to still be going code to this call. This is like my biggest pet peeve.
Tased and treated like that.
Long radio traffic and then not slowing people down that are going code to you. They have no idea what's going. Here's Keith and I having a panic attack because the old timers over here, we think someone's beating him to death.
You didn't have to yank me. No, you can't treat me like that. I asked for your supervisor and you went crazy. Like, that wasn't fair to me. That wasn't fair to me at all. You can't do that during a traffic stop.
He still have his taser in his hands? Why?
You can't do that during a traffic stop, sir.
Sworn probe inside.
Sergeant.
Wait for Lieutenant. Speeding. I'm on my way.
Oh, I need to know.
I would like to speak to the
How many cops do we need? This is a total city cop response. Look at all these people here. I'd be getting lectured about time on call. You guys can all 22. Get off this call. We don't need Joe. I had a lieutenant that would say, "Is this a peanut gallery? What you guys doing? Yep. You want some work? You want to do something? You want to do some paperwork?" And then everybody would leave.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to need a supplement for your involvement in this call.
Right to tase during the traffic.
I need to know.
When I grab hold of him. And so I got multiple times to get out of the car.
Okay, I want to hear his articulation.
You want to do all that? You can go to court. What all going on? So I saw
Sarge. What's going on, dog? What's going on? This Sarge not wanting to be involved in this.
For $49.35. Kept asking for his information. Well, I want to see your record. Well, I'm not seeing that. If you want to do all that, you can go to court. No, you didn't stop me for that. And so I tell him to get out of the vehicle. No, I'm not getting out of my car. Well, so then he's like, I want to see your supervisor when I grab hold of him. And so I gave him multiple times to get out of the car. Wouldn't do it. This is even after going hands on. Pulled my taser and gave him multiple warnings. You're going to be tased, you don't get out of the car. He still don't get out of the car, so that's when I popped.
He's not incorrect. I mean, it just, he eventually got compliance. He's very lucky this guy wasn't more motivated and didn't actually want to hurt him. That's going to be my only caveat here. If this guy wanted to hurt him, if he tried this in Houston, this would have gone down very differently. Not to make a criticism of our sovereign citizen here, but he sounds like a pretty soft dude. That was it. Okay, do we get a disposition here? Collegedale. Yeah, they're going to talk about the 7-step approach here. They're going to cite specifically that he did identify himself as a police officer and gave the reason for the stop. Officer drew his taser and ordered him to get out of the car before holstering in an effort to de-escalate. It's pretty well articulated. This is likely, I hope this is how his report read. Maybe this was just the media team. Hands on, no. Officer made a decision to deploy his taser to gain compliance.
Discrimination.
Oh. Gordon was the suspect of a domestic assault in a different agency. Interesting. Oh, wow. Since 2014, he's been stopped and questioned by a bunch of different police departments. Interesting. I mean, people have bad driving habits, and sometimes that's why they get stopped. But I'll give it a +2. He didn't do anything illegal. Execution was kind of weak. But it was articulated. He technically did follow all the rules. It just was poorly executed. That's really all. Last one of the night. We're getting done on time, baby. Let's go. We got police pursuits, very sussy little. Oh, bro, hold on to your butt cheeks here. This is Arkansas State Police. ASP does not play. Hey,
Nope.
It's Joshua. Getting after it, my friend. It's a fellow Josh. What a random dirt road. So he kicked on his lights.
We're out with Adam William Lincoln 50 X-ray. Going to be behind the York Girls Cafe. Displayed on the whiteboard expedition.
God, just state guys are not the ones to run from, man. Run from city cops.
Yeah.
Also, in that order of operations, deputies are also not the ones to run from. Are you looking for it?
Miss my cue.
There it is. Everybody's doing it. That's so funny. Dude, the inside jokes in this channel run deep. There's no real good. I don't think you're really pitting this yet, unless you get a weird return.
Yeah, you're gonna front yard something if you're not careful.
Not to mention like direct hit, like head-on collision with somebody.
Yeah.
You're probably waiting for a second. There's not a lot of radio traffic, but that's not the end of the world. There's probably nobody that can come help you. But I'm surprised. Dispatch is doing the work here. He probably knows it's just them. You know, he's like, oh, maybe someone's gonna come help me see him. There you go. Good on him. If you're gonna do it, this is a better area. Oh yeah, that thing's wrecked.
A little tap.
He went over the center line.
Staggered passing lanes.
So the second they crossed the center line, one, technically you could start articulating DWI here, but not that I think this is the case, but you could start to articulate a little bit more exigency of him being dangerous, of the driver being dangerous. So justifying the pit's probably going to be a little easier. There it goes.
I was going to say that's a good spot right there. Really, dude? Okay.
This guy's motivated. So every time this guy's having to pitch you and you take off, especially when it's a trooper from a state like Arkansas, likely the more unpleasant getting extracted from that vehicle is going to be.
Boy, don't make me take off the leather.
I'm gonna leave this basket we've print on your ass.
I forgot about that side bite. Oh my goodness. I was like, that's not me.
Mom loves you.
Do what?
I said, Mom loves you. She cut that for you.
Don't let me take off that leather. That was such a good soundbite. Thank you, Mom. The soundbite's pretty top notch. Also, this guy's like now pretty aggressive attempts at trying to prevent the pit.
Yep.
You're gonna get pretty ignorantly taken out of this.
Every time he sweeps, that's an attempted assault. There you go.
God, he's so lucky that thing's not flipping.
Barrel roll it, yeah.
Show your fucking hand! Show me your hand!
Really? God
There's
damn.
somebody in the car with him. Think I just saw a second set of hands. Yeah, the problem too with the pit is they're just not going fast enough for it to have that desired effect. You don't want it to roll, but also like the guy's just not being very. He's not trying to stop.
Roll it.
But at that point, I mean, he's made multiple attempts against your vehicle. Stuck in the ditch. I don't know that it makes that little dike there. There's a pinch point there. Man, body cams, dog. Okay, that guy didn't stand much of a chance in that foot pursuit. Let's be honest. Get your dope back. I guess it was just the one person. Good on him. Good job, trooper. My dog. Stayed calm. Didn't no lectures. Just took him, put him in the car, and was like, all right, let's just be done with this. We'll give state boys. I'll give them 5. That's probably average for state troopers. I'll be honest. Like I've been,
especially those dudes.
Yeah, ASP's been. There's something about Southern troopers. That's a terrifying prospect. And you know what? I bet he didn't get 30 days off.
Bet he didn't either.
Probably high-fived him on that.
Nice little attaboy there in his EDF, and it all goes into his his promotion later.
Anyways, for those of you that are interested, we do have some spooky cop merch. If you guys are interested, it spans everything from deputies to, I don't know if we have any state boys. We need to make a state boys shirt. I really like the Spirit of the Law shirt. This kind of makes me happy. I'm a Spirit of the Law kind of guy. Anyways, for everybody else, drop a like if you get a chance. We do this every single Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30-ish standard time. Normally I'm on time. Today I was technically on time, but theoretically late. I want to thank everybody that stopped by, everybody that's coming and hanging out here with us. I will be playing a little bit of Phasmophobia. I need to tinkle first. But if you'd like to join stuff like the after party and get to hang out with us or ask questions and I guess get more direct access to us, you can do so by joining the Patreon group. Thank you, Notorious Emu. We do need to do a collab with the State Boys guy. And then you can also do it by becoming a member here on YouTube. It will give you access. You should be able to see it when you click your YouTube membership thing. It should land you on a page that gives you access to the Discord. If you cannot get access or can't find it and you are a member or a Patreon member, DM us either on Instagram. I do think we also have an email. Somewhere here you can reach us, but hit us up so I can get you guys access. For everybody else, I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you, Keith, for hanging out with me.
Yes, sir.
For everybody else, good night. Ivana, good night. I didn't know you were here. And Katie Plays. This dog is kind of adorable looking in this little picture. Frederick, too. Well, we had a lot of people that showed up today. Oh, and Chris Kaufman, my dog. Okay. Ending.